Yeah, baby. What do you think of that? Of course, my desktop just completely caved in just as we went on the air here. So now I got to go back and get. Your mic's not even on. You're out of the mix.
I don't want. You know what?
You're out of the mix.
Switch up?
You're out.
Is this one switched up?
You may as well. You may as well head to the house.
He said my mic's not on.
No, I can hear you now.
It's good. Yeah.
You just. I just told you that so you'd leave. That was it.
That's the big hint.
Okay, I had to go through this 7,000 more times because this. I hate every. Oh, Dawn from My Pillow sent me a message.
American woman.
Okay, this ought to do it. Come on, baby. Pop up there. Where the hell are you?
I'm having a lot of fun with this how popular is your name in Minnesota thing.
Yeah, except for you swing and a miss when you did it.
Well, I did Tom instead of Thomas, and then I realized it, not even you.
But I don't really understand why Tom and Thomas is even separate. Are some people's names just Tom?
I think some people are born and they just do Tom.
I didn't know that. I had no idea.
You legally can do that.
Well, I'm sure you can. I mean,
I know a lot of people that decided they don't want to do work on like the nickname. Like who was it? Frankie. I know a girl whose literal legal name is Frankie. They didn't want to do Francis, so they just did Frankie.
Right.
But so Star Tribune has this thing where you can put in your name to see how popular your name is in Minnesota. And I put in Thomas and your birth year, and it was 1,460 babies were born.
And is that in the United States or in Minnesota?
No, in Minnesota.
Just in Minnesota, I thought so, yeah.
So, yeah.
I thought that was true.
Get this, I put in my neighbor, Priscilla. Mm-hmm. I put Priscilla in.
Yeah.
It said 0 on her birth year. And so I texted her immediately. I said, you are off the grid.
Really?
Nobody knows you're around, Priscilla.
Did she spell it all wonky with like a Y?
No.
Okay.
Like the Priscilla.
Yeah, that's the way to do it.
Yeah, she's got a cool name.
Yeah, like we got Bryan Miller coming in later. Guy spells it with a Y. Oh, it drives me nuts.
Does he really?
Yeah, it drives me nuts.
He can't come in.
Yeah, it drives me batty. It's like, no, like guys who spell Jeff, Geoff. It's your name is Geoff. Your name is not Jeff.
What is that? Because Jeffrey, G-E-O that way, is from, what is it, Scottish or something?
It must be something. It's got to be a European.
Terrible.
Yeah. What about these?
Terrible?
Geoff.
Yeah.
What's wrong with Jeff?
No, it's Geoff.
I'm going to tell Paso you said that.
Geoff is terrible.
Yoff?
Geoff.
Since when is it Yoff?
No, I'm saying with the G is terrible.
Yeah.
You know, I've had a horrible morning so far. I want you to know that.
Have I been most of it?
But you've been all of it, actually. It's just, no, but on the way in, so I'm driving in.
Yeah.
And I had to run by, I had two things to do before I had to go to the bank, and then I had to go and mail some letters. So basically, I took money out of the bank, and then I put these letters in where a lot more money's coming out of the bank. You know, I spent a lot of money this morning. Let me put it that way. But, a question I have for you. Have we had Fritz Coleman on this show, or was it the family show?
He hasn't been on this show yet.
He's really good, honest to God.
Right on.
So if you want to book him, Fritz Coleman's really, he's an interesting guy.
Cool.
Mo, definitely. Well, then you got Storage Wars. I've never watched Storage Wars. Is that any good?
It's good. You can only watch so much till you start going, if you watch too many in a row, you're going to go,
yeah,
I'm kind of over this. But once in a while, Storage Wars will go on and go, I'm gonna watch this.
Yeah. You know when you're hungover and you eat a big like soggy cheeseburger and you're like, oh, that's exactly what I needed. Storage Wars is like that. It's every now and again, small increments, but you don't want to live that lifestyle.
No.
Did they find anything any good ever?
Well, that's the beauty of that show is that for 3 episodes, they won't find anything. Yeah. And then they'll pop up, they'll be like, oh my God, a Picasso? You're like, wait, what?
I'm like,
where'd you find that?
Anne Frank's other diary?
Yeah, exactly. I misplaced that. I'm glad you found it.
At a self-storage in the middle of Poughkeepsie, you would have thought. Yeah.
Exactly. All right, so here's how horrible my day has been so far. So I'm on the way in. God, I tell you, I don't know what the hell's... Are we ever going to get driving straightened away? Because there was a guy that there were 3 of us waiting to get on Highway 100 down on, what would it be, 50th, I guess. And this guy sped up so fast to make sure that all 3 of us couldn't get on the highway before he passed by. And I thought, what is so special that you have to be first in line on the highway What is that?
I don't know.
I mean, there's 3 lanes. You can pick a lane and go wherever you want to go.
Don't you think that most of the time that happens is not ill intent? It's just the person thinks they're doing the right thing. Like, oh, I better just get ahead of all this and.
No, they're not doing the right thing.
I'm just saying they think they're doing.
No,
the right
they
thing.
do not. It's I'm better than you. That's what that is.
Do you think that might be a little bit of you putting a little projection out there, thinking that
Yeah,
they
because
think...
I do, yeah.
No, I don't mean that.
No,
I just mean
no,
like...
Here, can you get this knife out of my back, Rudy?
I put it right in the front there.
Oh, you put it in the front.
Don't worry, it's reachable.
You put it in the front.
Okay,
this
projection's
time.
the wrong word. Do you think that's a little bit of you putting characteristics on a non-characteristic move?
No, not at all. I think right now people are the rudest they have ever been. In my lifetime, right now, people are as rude as they have ever been. And I don't know where that came from. Why? Nobody's an example of that, right? So there was another guy that wanted to take a right turn in front of me. He's in the left lane, but he wants to make a right, not just to pull in the lane, but to take a right.
Okay, got it.
So he didn't plan too well there now, did he?
Yeah.
So I stop and I wave him over, and as he goes by, didn't even bother to look at me, much less, tip of the cap or thank you.
But maybe because he's mortified. Sometimes
Mortified of what?
Because you made an error.
You still have to be grateful for the good things in life.
I agree.
That's what we're missing.
The word I'm looking for is personification of something that's not needed. Like you're putting value on the idea that this person might have been just mortified, been like,
No.
oh God, I'm doing the
No.
wrong thing. I
No,
want to
no, no.
kill myself.
That's not it at all. People are rude. Walking down this hallway, people will be looking at you, me in this case. People will be looking at me, so I go, good morning. They just look away. Well, why would you do that? If you're looking at me and making eye contact with me and I go, good morning, why don't you at least go, hey, something.
I say hi, and I accept the fact that not everybody wants to say hi, especially in the morning.
Well, then don't look at me. You're out of the mix of looking at me in the hallway.
You know who you sound like?
You're out of the mix.
You sound like my brother and me in the back seat of a car
Good.
saying, you can't look at me. Don't look over here.
Don't look at me.
You can't cross this line.
No, my big problem is that my mother insisted that I be polite when I was a kid and growing up and all the rest of it. So being polite is very important to me because of my mother.
I agree, but you have to accept that not
No, I
everybody
don't.
was raised the same
No,
way
I do
as
not
you.
have to accept that.
Okay.
I don't have to accept the fact that you're a rude piece of shit. I really don't have to. Not you.
I am, though. My mom would
Exactly.
be mortified if I didn't do some of the things that you're talking about. If I didn't say hi to people.
That's what I'm
if
saying.
I wasn't like, but at the same time, I accept the fact that everybody grows up differently. Everyone's got different perspectives.
It doesn't mean that it's right, though.
Well, what's your
there's
version
a
of
society.
right?
The society should be held in place.
Well, maybe that person's version of right is I'm in my mind, I'm at work thinking about something really important, and it's rude that you bugged him.
Okay, so I'm not going to bug you with something. I was going to tell you and Rudy something this morning, but I'm not going to bug you with it.
I'm just
No.
taking the
that's the
counterpoint
way
of
it is. There is
maybe-
no counterpoint.
maybe
Don't be an asshole.
I get that. I don't want to be an asshole. I'm not
Right.
going to be an
But
asshole.
you are.
Well, yeah, naturally.
I love
Naturally.
It. Naturally. No, so I'm driving in, and people, cutting in front of traffic, and this guy and that guy turning right, and blah. Everybody's, like I said, just a little tip of the cap. It's all you got to do. It's not that big a deal. It doesn't make you look weak. That's my interpretation of what's going on here, because it's always men, for me anyway. It's always men that do those kinds of things, and I think it's just one of those I'm a tough guy deal. It's
Yeah.
like, oh, okay, you're in your Pontiac and you're a tough guy, are you?
So we
Okay.
agree that men
Pontiac.
shouldn't
I
have.
don't. Do they even make those anymore? I didn't think
What
so.
is this, 1997? Wow.
Yes, he's got.
He's driving an Edsel, and would they make those 1 year in like 1952 or something?
Yeah. The production was shut down quite fast, yeah.
And it was named after his grandson, Edsel.
I believe
Ford,
so,
right?
yeah.
God, your poor grandson. Here, we named a car after you. It's called the Edsel, and we took it out of production after about 2 weeks.
Sorry,
Gee, thanks.
Yeah.
We'll try again. Maybe we'll name the dog after you next time.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's not important to you that people be polite.
I didn't say that.
I'm just asking
I
you.
said
I'm
that
not sa- I'm
if you
just
look at it,
asking.
no. I hold myself to say, yes, these things are important to me. But I also accept that I work with a lot of different eccentric people, and I find that their rules for politeness are different.
They're only politeness. They don't get their own rules.
They don't
They're
get their
out
own
of it.
rules.
Nope, they're
You're
out of the
Mr.
mix.
We can't act like everybody was raised the same. We can't
That's
pretend.
not what I'm saying at all. Just don't be a prick. That's all.
I know, but people's versions of pricks are different.
No, it's my world.
Okay, this
And
is
you
true.
don't even belong.
I'll
with
say
it, so
this.
You're out of the mix.
I'll agree with you on this.
You're out of the
I
mix.
do live in a Tom Barnard world.
Okay, let me use an example. I'll give you an example of why I'm not wild about a lot of people. Okay? Because I'm about to tell you something that happened on the way in, and I guarantee you that 99% of people you worked with would never tell you what I heard this morning. They'd never tell you. And you tell me, oh, no, that's not true. We're going to find out, okay? Mm-hmm. So I'm driving into work, and it's a really nice morning. I mean, it's cloudy, but it's 66 degrees, so it's very pleasant, not bad at all. And my phone rings. And it's, 6:30 in the morning, so it's... See, I keep thinking it's 4:30 when I'm on my... Even though it's light out, I keep thinking it's 4:30.
I feel that, yeah.
Because of so many years of doing it. It's Bilski, okay?
Love Mike.
You know why Bilski called me this morning?
Your money.
No, I probably do.
Yeah.
But,
Since you're at the bank.
Yeah, since you're at the bank anyway. You know why he called to tell me this? And you tell me, both of you, tell me how many other coworkers you've had that would even tell you this. Okay? You ready?
Yeah.
He called me to tell me how wonderful the two of you are, that Brittany, you do a great job kind of being even keel on the show. Rudy, you're very funny and very clever. He and I talked for 10 minutes about that. Okay, so by your rules,
No.
I should just ignore that.
No.
I should never tell you.
You are the weirdest person.
I should never tell you
First
something
off-
positive like that.
Okay, first
No,
off,
matter
thank
of fact,
you,
I just
Bilski.
made that up. It's not really true.
Okay, well, you know what? Here's the thing.
What?
It's so funny how you pivot. You are one of those people who,
How is that pivoting?
even just right now,
I think it's important that you should hear that somebody really likes you and Rudy.
I think that's so sweet. I love Bilski. I actually feel amazing that he thinks even knows I exist.
Well, he's Polish.
This is
Thank you
true.
very much.
This is true.
Anyway.
But no, I think you should have stayed in school and been on the debate team because
I would never lose.
you would never lose. You're
Never
a pivoter. I watch you
I'm not
pivot.
pivoting. How was I pivoting?
See, even arguing about the pivot.
No, there was no pivot. Okay, you're trying to avoid something here.
Yes,
you
bring
are.
it on.
Because name one other person that would have told you that.
No.
Because I can't think of one.
It's very sweet.
No, it's not sweet. It's what should happen.
Agreed.
When somebody tells me they like the two of you, I should pass that along to you.
My favorite thing ever is if
And then I'd go, I don't really care for you, but Bilski does. I'd finish with that.
Well, good.
Okay, what now?
My favorite thing in the world is when I know someone's on air and they do a funny thing and I hear it and I can text them and say, that was hilarious.
That's what you should do.
Because it feels so good. There's a lot of times
Yep.
and people can relate to this when in their job too, you're doing something and you think that it's making no impact, right? Like if you're a teacher, if the recycling guys that pick up our things always give dog bones to our dogs, and I always have to say thank you because they just love it. There's a lot of things you do that you think go unnoticed, and when somebody verbalizes that they've not only noticed, they just want to say how much they appreciate it, it makes a huge difference. So you're right.
Then why don't people tell you that?
I think I have people in my life that do. You just did.
Yeah, well, I know. That's one.
Bilski texted me. No, he didn't. He didn't. I don't want him to think
I told him not to, actually. Don't be
Mrs.
texting her.
Bilski, your husband is not texting me, I swear.
No, I would like to get back to a day when people are polite, people are engaging, people want to show a little support. Hey, we're all trying to slog through and get through this thing together. Right now, the management and ownership of this planet is horrendous. The worst it's ever been, I think. Is there one good leader in the world right now that you can think of? Seriously. Is there anybody that you'd go, hey, that person does a great job running that country? It's all about money. They want the money, and you're going to have to give it to them because they're in charge.
Don't make me say it.
What?
It's my money, and I want it.
I want it now.
now.
What's the name of that again?
I think it's J.G. Wentworth.
J.G. Wentworth.
Was that
that's exact-
J.G. Wentworth?
I'm going to change my disc jockey name to J.G. Wentworth. What do you think?
It's my money.
And I want it now.
You would have been amazing on that commercial.
Yeah, except for they ruined my voiceover career. But other than that,
Well, it's
don't worry about
not.
it.
It's not voiceover. It'd be full acting. You'd have to put your body
no.
out the window
There ain't no way I'm
and
doing
yell
that.
it.
No, thank you. That's what I never wanted to be recognized in public. Is that weird?
No, it's not weird because you're smart. When you first
Smart?
Well, yes.
She wants money. You realize that?
Yeah.
Right?
I already have
hold
money
on,
from you. I have access
you
to
go.
all your money. No, I
Thank
don't.
you.
Again,
Thank
legally,
you.
I do not. No, I think you're smart. I think when you first start up in any job, you go, I want to be noticed. I want the attention. I want this, and then you realize actually it's way better to just kind of go with your head down and not have that
Do you
happen.
really think so? I've never had my head down.
No, but I
I've
mean,
never
like,
done that.
I mean, like, you get to go in public and not always have to be.
Oh,
Tom
that way,
Bernard.
yeah, you're right. No, that's very true. And look, by the way, all the people that come up to me now and say hello because of the billboards, I'm thinking, but they're very, very polite, very nice. I've had people raving about the show to me.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the 7th highest rated show in the company across the entire United States. So that's a big deal.
That's very cool.
It is.
No, and this is maybe a kind of a niche comment, but like when you hang out with TV people, there's a different vibe because they often are recognized and
Oh,
they
yeah,
have to
yeah.
kind of
Yep.
live their life knowing that they're recognized.
Yeah.
And not in like they think they're a big deal. I mean, we're Minnesota media. Like I could show my boobs outside of this building and nobody would
Again?
care. I only showed one
do it
once.
again?
I didn't do plural last time.
Yeah.
I just gave them the good one.
Can you get negative likes on Facebook?
No like, thumbs down. And no one would care. Like I know that Minnesota media is it's lovely, low key.
It is?
But yes, Minnesota media, like we can't pretend you're bigger than you are. You're Minnesota media. Like don't act like you're royalty.
But they can.
No, but I'm saying that.
They're always right, you know. The Minnesota media, they're always
No,
right.
but I
and
mean
you're
we are Minnesota media.
wrong. No, we're not. I'm not.
We're literally in a
Nope.
broadcasting
Nope.
company.
This is just BSing with friends.
Okay,
That's all
well,
it is.
they just happen to also record it. We just happen to be
I
wearing
didn't know they
headphones.
were recording this. I just thought the mic
What?
was here as a prop.
We should probably get you in the know,
You
bro.
probably should. It'd be wonderful.
No, but like it's funny when you hang out with TV people or
Yeah.
even Allie. Allie was, they had her, videos everywhere, and she felt that nervous energy
Yeah,
of being
yeah.
recognized or whatever. I've never felt that way, and I feel very thankful. But when you're a TV people, they're not gonna be that loud or obnoxious or be silly. And I don't mean like rude, but they're gonna have a little bit of a heads up of a head on a swivel, and they usually do
Yeah.
get somebody saying, "I love you" on that show, and I don't know what that feels like. Like
You don't
that's-
want to know what that. Here, let me tell you why you don't want to know what that feels like. Because this is when it all started for me, and that I didn't want to be recognized in public. Now it's different because the kids are grown and all that. But when my kids were young, children and teenagers, now you have to remember, I started this job when we found out that Catherine was going to have Andy. So Andy wasn't even born yet. Came back to Minnesota and worked here, all the rest of it. But I just, it's one of those situations that I got back here, the show blew up, and then it got really huge. And the reason that I am very touchy about that is people would come over and grab a chair and sit at the dinner table with us at
That's
restaurants.
so wild.
I'm like, what? They would literally come over and just grab a chair and sit down, and apparently they were with us for the rest of dinner.
I don't know what
why would
that's.
you do
I don't know what that's like because
That's weird.
Anytime when I was working at KQ or when I've been working at My Talk or here,
Right.
I have the people that put their little head in once in a while and say, I listen to the show and I like it, and then walk away, live their lives.
Well, so that's
And
good.
Love
That's a
that.
nice
Or
thing.
they love this because of course they do. They'll say, "Can I see a picture of Go-Go?" And I'm like, "Which one?"
Yeah, right.
I thought you didn't want to show pictures of Go-Go.
I constantly am trying to show you guys videos of
No,
we watch,
us, but you
you
don't
and
do
I
it to
watch her
strangers.
sleep sometimes.
You don't do that to strangers, though.
I'll show pictures of her as a baby. I mean,
Really?
her, yes, a little baby
That's
photo.
good.
She's like, I mean,
Making me nervous now.
side note, we do have an
Uncle
email.
Tommy.
We do have an email I should read. It's very
So that you
important.
suck, is that what it says?
Let me just open up.
Oh, look at, do you see this? She goes, here's the email. Yeah, okay.
Let me get to it. I mean,
Yeah,
there's so
yeah.
many, but I'm just going to grab this first one. Beep, boop. Bernie, I mean.
Oh,
the
Bernie.
Sales czar of
Is that who sent you an email?
Brittany, I think you're the best.
Oh, see, this is what I'm saying. Oh, Jesus Christ. Now it's going to be all day.
Also, Bernie, goddammit, there is somebody else on this show.
Yeah, that was brought up by
Yeah.
Bilski. Bernie, what the hell? Where's the Rudy
He said
parade?
what
Yeah.
he said.
God. Oh, by the way, Bernie, I talked to Bilski. We're good to go, as long as you're listening.
You cannot do meetings over our
doing
show.
a meeting right now with Bernie.
We do enough behind the scenes. I will not allow for an actual meeting to go down on this show.
By the way, we changed his name. His name is no longer Bernie. It's Barney.
Barney. Oh, you're going to...
The reason it's Barney is because he sent me a message. I've been here for 3.5 months. Sent me a message. Mr. Barnard. It's like, I know how to spell your name, your weird-ass last name.
It is super weird. There's a lot of vowels. Per word, it's when they even out vowels per consonants. You go, that's...
Yeah, exactly.
I get a little nervous, but I feel like that's an easy one to say.
And by the way, did you see the invitation on the boat trip, which I'm not going to make, unfortunately, but did you see the invitation?
Yeah.
Mine's the only name that's spelled all lowercase.
Maybe that's...
Is it your email?
Yeah. No, just everybody else's name is in capital letters. Oh. I mean, the first letter of each name. But mine's lowercase t, lowercase b.
So do you really look through the entire email to see where your email is?
No.
Okay.
No, I just want to see who was coming.
Oh, I got you.
I don't know if you noticed this.
That makes sense.
Not a lot of shit that I do in life is about me. I don't know if you've noticed that.
Okay, that makes sense. Because I was like,
big on that.
That doesn't seem on brand for Tom Barnard to sift through an entire list of emails to see. But yes, now that makes sense. Because I do the same thing too, yeah.
I will tell you why I went through the list. This is exactly... I'm actually glad you brought that up. Because the reason I went through the list is... And I talked to Amy about this last night, that I can't really make the boat trip, but I don't want the people who are going on the boat to think that I don't care about them.
Sure.
That I don't care enough to meet with them. Mm-hmm. That's not what's happening here at all, and I just wanted to make sure people knew that. So, that's the politeness that people like Brittany, don't have.
I was just trying to have you have a different...
They're horrible human beings.
I wasn't defending them.
You're a
I was trying to
disaster.
change your perspective of perceiving them.
Making it worse?
No, making it better.
How would it be better?
Because you don't have to put that personification of it. You don't have to go, they're being rude. You could say, maybe they just lost somebody. Maybe they just...
Then stay at home. Back in your house. Right?
You are such a debater. You are
I
so...
just love to do
Some
that
would
with
say
you.
you're a master debater.
Yeah. Oh, God. All right, time to move. Time to go to a break. We're already 85 minutes late anyway, so we may as well get her done. Oh, God. Anyway, we'll be right back in a couple of minutes. It's Tom Barnard for the Power Lodge and the world's largest Bennington pontoon dealer, Miller Marine in St. Cloud, of course. Temps are up, prices are down. We just hit 88 degrees, so Miller Marine and Power Lodge are offering hot 88 summer deals for the next 2 weeks only. Get a Bennington pontoon at $28,888. That's $28,888. That is not a lot of dough, man. And as a bonus, the first 8 pontoons come with a trailer for $1,888. Finance it all for just $288 a month. So you and I should come up with like $144 a month apiece. What do you think?
That's actually insanely reasonable.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
I
Where's
actually
your money?
could afford that.
Where is the Tom Barnard Show pontoon owned by the 3 people on it? Where is it?
I would like 51% ownership in case you go
so you
rogue.
kick in
So
$2.
I'll kick in the extra $2.
After this, after the break, remind me of Johnny Carson, what he said last night.
Okay.
Oh, my God. Unbelievable. You want something larger, get a Tri-Tune. Now, a Tri-Tune starts $43,888 or just $488 a month. With over 300 pontoons in stock, they've got what you need at the world's largest Bennington dealer, Miller Marine and Power Lodge. Payment terms and credit limits are subject to credit approval. So come on, it's time to get serious. I said get serious about your throttle therapy with this 2-week deal until June 17th. Check selection at powerlodge.com and millermarine.com. Hot 88 summer deals with Bennington pontoons are on now at the Lodge. It says they're on now at the Lodge.
Well, they really want you to know it's right now.
Apparently it's not now, it's right now. At the Lodge and Miller Marine.
When you need someone to listen, a lawyer you know and trust.
If you've never been in an auto accident, it's hard to know what to expect from the insurance adjuster. Here are some tips. 1, if they talk to you about whether or not you should hire a lawyer, it's a good sign that you probably should. 2, it's illegal for them to give you any legal advice. They aren't lawyers, and they aren't licensed to practice law. 3, if they tell you that everyone involved in the accident is at fault, they're wrong. This comes from the belief that you're at fault for just being on the road. That's nonsense and not supported by any law. Finally, remember that friendly adjusters are often just gaining information. They want you to do most of the talking so they can file their report. I'm Mike Bryant from Bradshaw & Bryant. I hope you're never injured in a collision. But if you are, don't sign anything until you've talked to us.
Find Bradshaw & Bryant, personal injury attorneys at minnesotapersonalinjury.com.
Seeking justice for the injured. Bradshaw and Bryan.
Why should your business bank with North American Banking Company? Here's Corey Wisco of the Welshire.
We're so grateful for their support and just the fact that they truly believe in what we do. They took the time to get to know us. They have faith in what we do, and it's just been a great partnership that's just always been based on success. They've always had our back every step of the way.
For more information about North American Banking Company, go to nabankco.com. That's nabankco.com. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. We are back, ladies and gentlemen, and we're 27 minutes in, and we've already proven that Brittany's absolutely 100% wrong about everything. So, moving forward.
Oh, I just got an email.
Oh, yeah, okay. And, well, who's
Brittany
it from?
is not. It's from Wall Microphone.
Yes, Wall Microphone. That's a very famous, no question about it. What did it say?
Well, here's one from Patrick. It says, "Good one, Britt."
Is that from Ebert's?
Could be.
What?
God, no,
Good one, Britt?
Good one, Britt. What the hell does that even mean?
Probably the master debater. I feel like that's where he
You're right. It was the master debater. You're absolutely right.
Here's a cute one from Victor. Been listening to Tom since I got out of the Army. Love each and every one of you. So there's a little love for you guys, but the rest will be about me for the rest
More
of the day.
me now for Brittany.
Yeah, all right.
You know, that's a lovely pink outfit you've got on today, Britt. I'd like to say.
Thank you. I'll let you borrow the shirt sometime.
I should wear that shirt sometime.
All this love for somebody who says things like this.
You know I hate fat people.
Yeah, there she is. Yeah, see?
What is even that from?
There's your real Brittany right there.
What is even that
Right
from?
there.
What the?
You fat bastard. I heard you say it.
What is even that from? I
Yeah.
can't put a sentence.
I don't know. It came out of your mouth. You tell us.
Yeah.
No, I've never felt that way.
Do you still have the one that said, hey, nice skin color? You still get that one?
What?
I do have that one. Well, now I have that one.
No, yeah. Except it won't be Brittany getting the tick in the pipe. It'll be me. I'll be back on every news channel. Why, that racist son of a bitch.
I don't remember. Did I black out one day?
Yeah. No, you
What
said
is that from, Rudy?
No, you said it.
You are, on Kinley's birthday of all days.
Yeah, that's right. It's her birthday. Happy birthday.
Mm-hmm.
What, 15?
15 today.
15
yeah.
today. Yep,
She's
there you
getting her
go.
permit. She's doing her permit tested. We
Okay.
don't want to put any pressure on her, but permit
She's not,
test.
I don't like her. I just like to tell
Oh,
you that up front. I'm not looking at Rudy right now. I don't care for her because I had a golf tee time today and he can't go because it's her birthday.
Yeah.
I mean, way to go, kid.
Yeah.
Way to screw up Uncle Tommy's day.
Yep. Reason number 5,183 to never have children.
Yes,
Never.
don't. You can't play golf ever.
That's true.
They got birthdays like every day.
It's exhausting. What age do you think that you could start playing golf again? Because I got to tell my husband to calm down his expectations about playing every weekend.
Well, I don't know. My daughter's 15, and I'm still not back to playing golf yet. So, Justin, you're in for the long haul, my friend.
Yeah, there you go.
Good to know.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. All right, I should probably do the weather because it's looking pretty good, actually. I mean, isolated thunderstorm, but it's June. That happens every June. Air quality alert until 6 p.m. due to lingering smoke from wildfires in Quebec. Goddamn Canadians. Typical Canadians, right?
Yeah, dang it.
Damn it.
The hat of America.
I gotta bring my buddy in from, he lives in Toronto, Doug.
Sounds great. I heard Toronto is
Toronto's a phenomenal city.
gorgeous.
But I guess they're having a lot of trouble downtown now, just like everywhere else in North America, or actually in the world. I guess, yeah, I mean, I love downtown Toronto, but it's blown up sky high. They're building literally like 20 skyscrapers there right now.
Yeah.
They're blowing up. Doug Dawson is his name. He's my very, very good friend. Living in Toronto, and it's your fault we have smoke covering our sun.
Yeah. Get back to us on that.
You heard me. Partly sunny, not as hot today. Isolated thunderstorm is possible, a high of 83. Tonight, partly cloudy, less humid, a low of 63. On Wednesday, partly to mostly sunny. Beautiful day tomorrow, less humid too, with with a high of 82. Mostly sunny, 83 on Thursday. And, that's three days out. So that's as far as we're going to go. Because that changes up like on an hourly basis once you get beyond 3 days, doesn't it?
Absolutely, it does.
It is true. So, 83 today, maybe an isolated thunderstorm, might not even happen. It's still going to be a little humid, but then less humid tomorrow. Cloudy and 66 right now. So that's good, don't you think?
I will take it. It's beautiful out.
It is. There's no question about it. But we drove in this morning. No snowstorms. That's good.
No, I think we're good on snow today. You know how we were talking about names before and how some people can be born with the name Thomas or just Tom?
Uh-huh.
Mike Peterson wrote in this really funny email saying, day off today, so I put on my full attention to you guys, and you were talking about names. My sister was named Beth Peterson, middle name Marie. The American Lit teacher we had in school always called her Elizabeth because her name is Beth.
Oh, sure.
She kept telling him her actual name is Beth. Finally, she brought her birth certificate to class and shoved it in his face. Have a great day.
Good.
I love that.
I do, too. My name is not Elizabeth. Hey, keep that, too. Tom just said, my name's not Elizabeth, but it will be after the sex change. Boy, would I be a horrible sex change, wouldn't I?
Well,
I would make a terrible woman.
But is that the name you'd pick, Elizabeth? I'm surprised.
I like Elizabeth. That's a good name.
I do, too. I just don't feel like you're an Elizabeth. I'll be very honest.
How about Lizabetta?
I could see you being Lizzie.
Oh.
Oh.
Okay.
Why?
Nothing.
Why is that bad?
Sexual preference. That's all I'm saying.
Lizzie?
It's not a preference anymore. That's sexual. What is it? Orientation. That's what it is. It's orientation.
Yeah, I could see you if you were going to go, you could go Lizzie. I don't know what I'd go. Maybe, is Troy? I feel like Troy would be a good one for me.
It's not a woman's name.
No, I said if
you became a man.
If I got to pick a male's name for me, I'd say maybe Troy.
So you're taking my brother's name because he's dead? Is that why?
That's not why.
That's
exactly.
My brother dies and then she steals his name. Way to go.
I'm honoring him.
No, you're not.
Yeah, that's what you always say.
Deeply offended.
You're honoring these people.
He's deeply offended over there.
I like Troy.
Troy was the
That's
best.
so funny. I just thought of what's a solid guy's name? I didn't even think your brother at the time.
Troy's good.
Troy is a good one.
It is a good one. But I do miss that sumbitch, I will tell you. That's been 2 years already.
Of course you miss him. I can't even.
It's terrible.
I have two siblings, and I talk to them every other day.
I will tell you honestly, and I'm going to move on very quickly from this, but it's true. Losing my youngest brother like that at such a young age, I can't even imagine. I can kind of start toward the feeling what must be like to lose a kid.
Okay, stop.
I mean, I just
can't.
Well, I'm just telling you. That's very, very painful, man.
Stop. We're not going down that.
Yes. A matter of fact, that's all I'm going to talk about for the rest of the day, just because of you.
I'm taking your bar until you act right.
Really?
Your clean bar.
Was it a clean bar?
Your
Are those
breakfast
good?
bar. Yeah, they're all yes.
Good. Glad to hear it. Ladies and gentlemen, what's something? Oops.
I got you.
Turn you down there. Yep.
Thank you. Thank you. What did you do now?
No, I was just muting your mic for
you did
StreamYard.
You did it.
I'm gonna fight you today.
You're gonna sock
I got a
me right
call
in the mush.
yesterday from Andy accusing me of sabotaging a laptop from you.
That's what I heard. From me?
Yeah, that's what I assumed it was from you.
Nothing from. Well, I don't even know what you're talking
okay.
about. Jesus, Pat. Why? Just because Andy thinks you suck, it's not my fault.
Andy does not think I suck.
No, he doesn't.
No.
No, he likes you a lot, doesn't he?
I love Andy.
I think he loves you
I was very
too.
awkward to him yesterday. I really apologize.
There's a shock.
I was trying not to mention anything, but I wanted him to know I cared, but I didn't know how to not mention it, but to inform him that I care. So I was awkward. I was so awkward.
Okay, let me see. I'm going to get to this list very quickly before we go to Kristyn Burtt, because KB2 is right around the corner. Mm-hmm. What's something a lot of people think they're good at but aren't? Someone polled people online, the top 10 answers. Now, these you think you're good at them, but you're not. Do you guys know personally anything you think you're good at, but you know really you're not good at it?
Well, I don't think I'm good with spelling.
Spelling? I would have to agree with you on that
I know
one.
I'm bad at that. You know what? Maybe flirting.
You're not good at
flirting? Do you
flirting?
think you're good at flirting?
I feel like I'm a good flirter, but I bet as soon as I walk out of the room, people are like, what the hell was he doing? Did you see that guy try to wink? Oh, my God. Was he having a seizure? What was happening?
The fact that you're winking
Maybe.
is probably the first problem.
Hey, how you doing?
I need more winking in my life. Back off.
Yes.
I wink a lot, but not in a flirting capacity. It's kind of like a nervous tick of all right, check you later, and then I instantly regret it.
Okay, what do you think you're good at, but you're not really good at?
I think I'm a good driver, and I have a lot of a paper trail to tell me I am not.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's a good one. I am not good. This is not going to shock anybody. I am really bad at developing patience for anything. I am not a patient person.
Don't
It's
say.
Get off your ass and do your job now. Let's go.
Yeah, you're not patient at all.
I am not patient in the least because people will sit around on their ass and do nothing. What the hell's that? Get off your ass. Let's go.
Isn't it weird that you want to assign blame to things?
Blame?
Yeah, like when something happens, you go, "Whose fault is that?" I go, "It's just the computer's acting up." Well, who do you think did it?
Somebody had to do it.
I go, "This little robot
It's a
just
disaster.
broke. It's fine."
No, it's all human. Every bit of it is human. Sitting around on their ass doing nothing.
And I think the stem is not malicious. I think that it stems from you just wanting a solution. And sometimes there isn't a
absolutely.
solution.
You're 100%
So
right.
I'm not trying to make it
I'm
seem
big
like
on solutions.
Yeah, you want a solution.
Yep.
You want there to be. You don't want to be there's just the possibility of things just going awry with no reason.
I suppose that might have something to do with me being 70 years old, watching my dad hauled off in a straitjacket. Might have something
Could be
to
it.
do with it.
Could be it.
That might be what it is.
We could put a lot of things in that bucket. To be honest,
I bet you could. Anger,
I mean,
sadness.
I'm just saying that, it is rightfully so to be excusable when you've seen
thank
that.
you. Thank you.
You can. We'll give you some wiggle room, sir.
But I tell you what, I learned from that very incident right there. As they're hauling my dad away, and he's like foaming at the mouth and flopping around, and he's got a straitjacket on, the deal with the arms and all that. And they got him on a gurney, and they're rolling him out, and he's doing all this.
Crazy.
And as they take him out the back door, my sister Bobby, who's 7 years older than me, goes, "Tommy, I think they think our dad is nuts."
Okay.
So you have to have the humor part in there.
And you're just going wide-eyed. Yeah.
I thought it was hilarious. I
That's
started laughing.
hilarious. I mean, that's so bad.
She made me laugh when I was feeling very, very sad. So that was a wonderful thing.
Do you tell her about that?
Oh, I used to, yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't
'Cause
talked to her in 20 years now.
That might be worth a call, just a reminder of that story, because she might not even remember that.
She might not. That's very, very true. She was very funny. She was a very, very funny person. Well, actually, my siblings are all pretty damn funny. Okay, so here we go. What's something a lot of people think they're good at, but they aren't. Here are the top 10. Number 10, communicating. So people aren't good at communicating. That's really good for the podcast business.
Yeah.
Here's the one for Brittany. They think they look cool.
Tell me I don't.
See, I
Tell
told
me
you.
I
See?
don't
Right
look
there.
cool.
Okay, we can just skip over giving good advice. We can skip right over that one.
Yeah.
Being honest. See?
Oh.
What I've been telling you all morning. People are never honest, and they think they are.
You've been telling me that all morning?
Yep, they cannot honestly live their lives. They're,
Now look at you
they're a
pivot.
shell of a person.
Look at you use this for debate.
It's-
How does this
no.
apply? Look at you work your butt off trying to
Leave
make
me
this
alone.
apply.
Get away from me, you. That's
You're
all I have to
so
say.
funny.
Parenting. God, I hope you're good at parenting. You think you're good at parenting, but you're not? That's not good news.
I think that everybody's parenting their own way, and it's probably the most appropriate way that they know how and should how. I mean, I think that parenting, even today, we had a situation where I go, Rudy, can I give this to your daughter? It has a swear on it. It's this bracelet I made. It's part of a lyric of a song she likes.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, because me and my mom were like, I don't know.
Is it F the police?
It's kind of. It's close.
It's pretty damn close, yeah.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
That's the
actually-
P,
Really?
yeah.
Yeah, it was super. I actually thought you were guessing it.
Yeah.
Oh, my
It's
God.
from a Taylor Swift song that she loves. So I was
okay.
This is one that you yell out during the
So
concert.
it's F Taylor Swift?
No.
Well, it's not that either.
And so
listen to you in
never.
there. I wouldn't even
In
think
Taylor,
of
we
it.
trust.
Yeah. Do not besmirch the good name of the Swift.
Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right.
And so I was a little me and my mom, because I was making bracelets yesterday, and I was like, can I give this to Kinley? I don't know. My mom's like, no, you can't. I go, I don't know. Rudy's kind of like a chill parent. And so it was one of those things where I'm like, Rudy parents a certain way. Everyone parents the way that they should
Right.
exactly for their kiddo. In most
Right.
cases. Of course, there's the terrible aspect of it. But
Yeah, I understand that. No question. All right, I got to blow through these next couple.
Sorry.
Because no. I'm just saying I have to,
Okay.
not you have. I didn't say shut the F up, did I?
Later.
Later I will. When we're in the break, then I'll do it. As a matter of fact, is it okay if I go to the break before Kristyn now, and then we can take her?
Yeah, then
top of the hour.
she can hang for as long as she wants after that. Yeah.
That would be wonderful. So we'll do that. So the last 5 things you think you're good at, but you're not: singing, being humble,
Yeah.
staying out of drama, driving and being a good listener. All of those things I told you earlier, and there it is in full print.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. What was that?
I was going to make that joke.
Absolutely. I hate both of you. I want you to know that.
Hey, my
Bilski's
driving's on
wrong.
there. Are you a good driver?
No, Catherine drives wherever we go.
You're good with directions, though.
I'm very good with directions, but I'm not good with being patient with other drivers.
Yeah.
That I am not at all.
I feel like Rudy's a good driver because you have a motorcycle. You kind of have to be.
I'm a complete asshole on the road. I drive like a maniac. My mom and I went and saw The Flash last night in Eden Prairie, and I could tell when I was getting off the exit of 35, getting onto 494, going towards Eden Prairie, I could see my mom's hand start to reach up and grab the oh shit handle, and I was like, all right, I'll slow down. Because she's very much so like, you just drive like a maniac. I'm like, no, I drive like somebody has to drive in Minneapolis. You have to drive, what do they say? Drive defensively, offensively.
I don't know if I don't know if you got the right advice in the sense that, like, you can drive like a normal person.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
I don't know
I
about
got places to be.
I gotta get to the Flash. You were embodying that.
Yeah.
One more quick one. Kendall Norberg. Now, you've not met Kendall yet, Rudy. No, Brittany, you've met Kendall a few times.
Yes, I believe so. Yeah.
Kendall is the one person that if I were you, I would not piss him off because he's not a good guy to piss off. He's a very large man, very tough guy. I had just purchased about 10 years ago a brand new car. It was a car I'd wanted my whole life. I was inspired by my brother-in-law, Pat O'Brien, because he owned a Jaguar when I was a kid. It was a used one, but you know. So I always wanted a Jaguar. So I bought a brand new Jaguar. I go to pick up Kendall to drive him around and go. And I finally got the car of my dreams. He gets in the car, grabs that thing. What was that thing called?
The oh shit handle.
The oh shit handle, that's
Yeah.
what we call it?
Yep.
Grabs it and tears it right out of the roof.
Yeah. Wow.
I'm like, Kendall, I don't know if you know this or not, but you're rather strong, so you yanking on that was not a good idea. Nobody else could have gotten that out of the ceiling. No way. But he just put his hand up there. Yeah.
What do you do with that then?
You, like, glue it in little Elmer's glue and put her back up. I had to take it in and have it fixed.
Yeah.
But he did one of these where he grabbed it and then he shifted in his seat.
Yeah.
And that's why I tore it out of the roof.
I feel like it should be stronger.
Well,
or maybe
it's
he needs
strong.
to calm down. Yeah.
Well, he does need to calm down. Okay, we need to take a break here. I like this, though. I like the flow of the show today.
Sure.
I don't like that dictated flow. It's like, you stop talking right now. It's like, shut up and leave me alone. Right?
We would have done really well with that.
You horn tootin'.
We were great with direction.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm just now approaching the end of my 60-day weight loss program with mnfatloss.com. I've lost over 25 pounds. That is a fact, and I feel fantastic. Getting around is just a lot easier. My clothes fit better. There just really isn't a downside to losing weight at all. You'll be a much happier person. Now I'll be going into the maintenance phase of MN Fat Loss, the Minnesota Fat Loss program, mnfatloss.com, adding in a few more food choices to the mix. I've loved the program so much that I'm planning to go back because I want to take about a 2, 3, 4 week break, whatever they tell me to do. Whether it's 1 week, 2 weeks, or a month, it'll be their decision, not mine. Because then I'm going to go back. I want to lose another 25 pounds. I think I want to get down to like my high school weight.
Okay.
What do you think of that?
Calm down. Don't go too hard.
I'm not going hard.
You're doing great. Don't change the goal until you hit the goal. You're doing great.
Okay, never mind. You're right. You will be absolutely able. You will absolutely be able to lose weight like I have done. And I'm telling you, if I can do it, you can do it. I'm here to tell you that. That's a fact. I still enjoy the foods you love this summer because I have. If you want to find out the secret to losing 20 to 30 pounds in just 8 weeks, just like I'm doing, that's about a pound of fat every day, no exercise required. To schedule your free consultation, go to mnfatloss.com. That is mnfatloss.com. Results may vary. Be sure to tell the team at mnfatloss.com that Tom Barnard sent you.
What can Hubbard Interactive do for your business? Let's take a listen and find out what they did for one local company, Steve the Window Guy.
I'm Sally, and I'm a digital brand strategist here at Hubbard Interactive. We met with Melissa from Steve the Window Guy, and she was looking for help with their video advertising strategy. So we helped build a comprehensive plan for streaming TV and YouTube ads.
And Melissa, tell us how it's been getting your message out with help from Hubbard Interactive.
I've been working with them for 5 years, and what I've learned is that they have both the experience and the depth inside their team to help me solve any creative marketing challenge that I've got. So over the years, I've moved from radio ads to streaming TV to YouTube ads, and now we're moving towards SEO. And I'm loving the results that I'm seeing.
Is there anything else you want business owners out there to know about Hubbard Interactive?
I am so grateful for the entire team at Hubbard Interactive for effortlessly understanding our business and our marketing vision, and then always delivering only the best results.
To find out how our experts can help your business grow, get in touch today at hubbardinteractive.com.
We are back, ladies and gentlemen. Kristyn, you're just going back to bed, aren't you?
No, I'm not.
What time do you have to be off today?
Off work. I work today until 2 p.m.
No, I mean this one. How long can you be on the show?
I'm good. I can stay.
Well, I just wanted to make sure, because when we get on a little ramble like that, I like it because that hour just blew by.
I know that. I was interested in listening to you guys.
Well, her attacking me constantly.
Calm down.
That's like
thank you.
Trust me, that's like a staple in our house now because of Tom. Like Tom back in our world, where everybody in my house, calm down. Everyone needs to calm down.
You're a disaster.
Here, let me get that knife out of my back
again, it's right in your chest. It's
Knife
definitely
in the back.
reachable.
That's all I'm saying. It's all true. So what's new? I watched something yesterday. I was going to talk to you about it. Now I can't remember what the hell it. Why does it keep telling me to leave the site? Leave me alone.
Well, there's tons of news, and I've had a couple of your listeners ask a couple questions that they wanted me to topics that they wanted me to hit this week.
I love that.
So, first of all, let me just get the sort of what's happening with the strike, because there is new news.
Oh,
and
good.
At least,
I think.
At least one thing is moving in the right direction. Directors Guild has definitely averted a strike. So they do have a tentative agreement. The membership will have to vote on it, but they did get a wage increase. They're getting a 76% increase in residuals for foreign properties. And then on top of it, they've averted the whole AI topic. I know everyone's been so worried about artificial intelligence. The good news is AI won't be directing your next film. So I think that they probably have a more clear-cut path with that. It's hard to replace a director. But so they won't be striking. And if they had voted to strike, that would have been an immediate shutdown. So that, avoids one shutdown in the industry, which is great. Good. SAG has voted to strike, so they've authorized it. Doesn't mean they're going to strike, because negotiations begin tomorrow. So the membership, it was like 97.9%. It was unbelievable, like how big the vote was to strike if necessary. But hopefully SAG in the next 3 weeks will make some headway. The contract officially ends June 30th. That date will come up very quickly. So hopefully they're in a negotiating mood. As for the writers, they have not gotten back to the table with the producers.
So what does that mean long run? How much long? Do you anticipate a long outage here?
I do. Yeah. My guess.
Seems like it.
And this is just my personal guess. My personal guess is that it will last like right up until the Emmys. So the Creative Arts Emmys are a week before the Primetime Emmys. Primetime Emmys are September 18th.
Oh, okay.
I feel like early September is probably when they will resolve this.
So what is do you know what the numbers are?
In terms of what we're losing?
What they're looking for? What do they want from the union? I mean, for the union?
In terms of numbers, well, I will tell you that the studios are losing more money by letting the strike go on.
Yeah, I could see.
Versus, because it's about $30 million a day that we're losing in California alone.
Oh, God. Well, that's only almost $1 billion a month.
No big deal.
No
big
problem.
Deal. I mean, it's ridiculous to think at this point, like we can't figure out some type of compromise.
Yeah.
And listen, a shutdown. We've already had a shutdown with the pandemic. We do not need a full shutdown because I don't think people realize that even though unscripted shows are people just think, oh, well, that'll still go on. It won't. You're Dancing with the Stars. Anyone that has a SAG talent like type of host, you're not going to have a show this fall. So even like ABC, which is banked on a lot of game shows, Dancing with the Stars, those will all shut down because they're also under SAG contracts. So people need to understand, you're going to be watching a lot of old stuff if that does happen.
Yeah, it kind of seems. Catherine and I are doing I think, a pretty good job trying to track all this stuff down. You know, what we can watch things. Well, he told you that Ben Affleck movie that everybody hated. Catherine, I thought it was pretty decent, actually. You know.
Yep.
You know, I think he is an underrated actor. I think he's a hell of a lot better than most people think he is.
I think he's better. Honestly, I prefer him behind the camera. I actually enjoy a lot of his work that he directs. Mm-hmm. I think he's Ben Affleck on camera.
Yeah,
he's
I
one
suppose.
of those, like, you get the similar. I feel like I get a similar performance out of him. He's like Tom Cruise. You get a similar performance every single time.
Yeah.
Other than a couple of, there's one or two movies you're like, oh, okay, that was so different and interesting. But there are certain actors I feel like that sort of rest on, like they have that breakout role and you're like, that's great. And then they do a version of that role the rest of their career.
Yeah, that's true. A lot of actors are like, I mean, Marlon Brando basically at the end of his career just did The Godfather over and over and over again. That's what he did.
Yep.
I could see your point. No question about it.
And if it makes you successful and keeps money in the bank, it's okay. You know, it's not everyone has to be Meryl Streep.
Ooh, I like Meryl Streep though.
I do love her.
I saw Affleck in The Flash last night, and I think he's a good like brooder. You know what I mean? Like, he's really good at to see that guy went from the dude from the fashionable male in Mallrats to now playing Batman in DC movies. I don't know. I feel like you're right. There should be a little bit more range coming out of that guy.
Yeah,
because he's proven that, and especially Chasing Amy. Oh man.
That's a great movie.
That's another movie where if you see me at home sitting in the dark eating, chocolate chip ice cream, crying my eyes out watching Chasing Amy, something has gone terribly wrong in my life.
Now, what is that? What's Chasing Amy?
It's a movie that he did with Joey Lauren Adams. It was directed by Kevin Smith, and it's about a guy who meets a girl, and it is this love triangle that they're trying to figure out, and she's a lesbian, and then she falls in love with him, and it is that movie basically, it was the epitome of my 20s, essentially. Mm-hmm. It's so good. Tom, you really should see that movie.
It's called what again?
Chasing Amy.
Chasing Amy.
Yeah.
I will have to give it a whirl.
I want to know, it's the epitome of your 20s. Were you in love triangles like this all the time?
Oh, well, because I was trying so hard. I found so much value of myself in other people, especially women that I dated, that when this guy is in love with a woman and she doesn't reciprocate, his reaction to all that was exactly what my reaction was in real life. So I bet I watched that movie on a loop for like a year. Just going,
I'm seeing my life flash before me.
Like why if I can figure out why Ben is screwed up, I'll figure out why I'm screwed up.
Love
Did
it.
it work?
No, not at all.
I didn't.
But maybe Ben Affleck, honestly, maybe he needs to find like a really good comedy because we haven't seen that from him in a while. And I think maybe that would sort of break out of that sort of brooding role.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I understand you guys' point. I just thought in this particular movie, this Hypnotic, I think it's called, he's very reserved in it. So maybe that's why I kind of liked what he did because his character was pretty reserved. I like that. Right?
Yeah. I mean, listen, he's definitely, I'm not sitting there saying that he's not talented at all. I think that he just has more in him than he's giving, or the scripts that he's like accepting roles in. And maybe Hollywood's not giving him the chance, but where he is a producer and a director, I think he could even challenge himself more.
That is the ticket. That makes sense to me. How about new series? Well, yeah, see, here's the problem. We don't have anything new coming out because of the strike, correct?
Well, we do. We have a lot of, like as I said yesterday, there's stuff that's been banked. So today there's no premieres, but a few of your listeners asked me to talk about Shiny Happy People. I don't know if any of you saw it over the weekend. It's on Amazon Prime, and it's about the Duggar family secret. So,
oh God.
Yes, I know.
Gosh.
Well, this was a 4-part docuseries, and I think what's interesting about this is that it takes a deep dive into their religion. For people that don't know, the Duggars had a show called 19 and Counting on TLC, and it was made to be this like idealized American Christian family that had 19 kids. But they are a part of a religion that really, it really has very specific gender roles, and the women are sort of groomed to be not only housekeepers, but obviously breeders. And it's really one of those, it's the Institute of Basic Life Principles. It doesn't even sound like a religion, to be honest, but it shows how church leadership, and we've seen this over and over in other religions, when they have sex scandals, when they have sexual abuse allegations, they go and they protect the men. And of course, they don't protect the victims and the survivors. And that's kind of happened in the Duggar family. And one of the Jill Duggar, who is kind of out and sort of the outlier from her family, talks about it and talks about some of the trauma that she went through. So if people are kind of interested in taking a look at that for a docuseries, it's fascinating, to be honest. But honestly, putting a trigger warning on it, because there is a lot about sexual abuse.
Those abusers like that, do they spend a lot of time kind of like doing surveillance of young people and keeping an eye on them? And do they, before they make their move, they have it all figured out when mom and dad are around, when they're not around, how's this going to go? Do they spend time, or do they just react?
Well, here's the thing. Within the Duggar family, it is the oldest brother, Josh, who was doing the abusing of the daughters. And this comes out in the documentary. But when you are an older child, there's a thing called like a buddy system. So once the infant is sort of weaned from their mother, they are assigned, like the older kids are assigned like a couple of kids to take care of. So the mom isn't raising the kids, the siblings are raising the kids. And this happens a lot in big families. It happened to my mom. My mom was the oldest of 6. But you get to a point where there's not a lot of parenting going on. And then someone who, like Josh, who is a convicted pedophile, is someone who then has access, easy access to this situation.
Yeah, because I watched a little, and they were talking about how it was very normal. So, you know, the mom could get rest, the little kids would just sleep with the older kids. And so if you're an opportunist, opportunist is the nicest way I could say it, and I don't even know why I would use that word. If you're a pedophile, what a dream situation that is. It's so disgusting. Yeah.
Right. And, you know, I think that the family only talked about like 2 specific allegations when it probably went on a lot longer than that.
Yeah.
And then they made the girls, instead of Josh like owning what he did, they made the girls come forward and talk about their trauma on Megyn Kelly's show when she had one on NBC. I mean, it was like disgusting, the way that they were traumatized over and over again. But the women and girls are sort of the sacrificial lambs in this IBLP.
No wonder I hate people. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, but it is fascinating if people want to take a look. And you also have to remember in all of this that TLC was complicit in all of this, because they're the ones giving them the money and giving Jim Bob Duggar the money, because he was taking all of the kids' money and signing their contracts. They never got a dime for having all of their lives filmed for years.
Would you even talk on the phone with somebody named Jim Bob Duggar?
Jim Bob.
No, I'm getting. Oh, you know, Tom's not here right now. Goodbye. No.
Yeah, and their family is very, very tied to politics and tied to women's reproductive rights or taking them away. And it's a really complicated, entrenched story with it all. So fascinating, though, because, you know, you have TLC going, here's a wonderful family, and this is how we're portraying them.
Yeah.
When underneath the surface, it was pretty dark.
And they knew it.
And they probably knew some of it, but as time went on, they definitely knew at least the second half.
See, and why wouldn't you do something about it? First of all, it's a felony to do it. Why aren't they? They should have to answer to some of that.
That's their babies. Like, those are their children. Those are their babies.
I know.
And the idea that saving face is more important than your babies is just beyond me. I mean, I'll put a billboard with their face on it if you even look at my kid. Like, what? It blows my mind. I mean, we'll never figure it out. Like, I don't even know why I'm trying to wrap my head around it, because those are your babies.
Yeah, just remember the famous words of Clemenza in The Godfather. Oh, Paulie, you won't see him around here no more.
Right? I mean...
So there
and
you
Josh
go.
Duggar, in case anyone doesn't know, he is behind bars, I think, for 12 years for child sexual abuse matter that he had on his computer, in his work computer, by the way. So not even his home computer. While he was at his car dealership, that's what he was doing.
You know, I got to ask you guys a question, because I came from a family of 7 kids, right? 5 boys, 2 girls. What is that? Because I mean, my sisters were my sisters. They were not girls. They were not, women in the neighborhood. They were my sisters. I never looked at them any other way. They were both older than me, so I looked to them for guidance in certain things, and they both were very helpful. How do you get from you're my sister to boy, I'd like to shtup her? What is that?
I don't think that's a dotted line. We
No.
can pretend to know how to get that.
Yeah, I guess you have to.
Well,
be
you know
right.
what? I go, who
Jesus.
abused him? Because oftentimes
Yeah.
this is a
Yep.
cyclical situation.
Yep.
So I'm like, where is that? Where's the root of his abuse coming from? And not every person who's abused becomes an abuser, but oftentimes it does.
And it's still not an excuse.
It's not an excuse.
No.
And here's the other thing. His wife is staying with him. I believe they have 6 kids, and there's a lot. There's a lot there to unpack.
It's so scary to me because okay, so I watch a few different kiddos, and one of my really close Army friends, when she needs help, I watch Little Allie. We call her Little Allie because we have a Big Allie and a Little Allie in our life. Poor Big Allie has to be called Big Allie. But Little Allie, and I think this is the best gift somebody, especially when we were trying to have a kiddo and Little Allie would sleep at our house, and I go, what scares the heck out of me is that somebody who abuses says the same things like somebody like me. It's just like, there's no differentiating. How do you know? It just terrifies me. It's something that keeps me up at night is they say the right things and it's terrifying to me.
And they walk in your inner circle most of the time. And that is the thing. It's the dance teachers, it's the coaches, it's the family member, it's the clergy member. And that is the thing that as parents, you may not know because you've been groomed just like the child has.
Yeah.
I like Mike Birbiglia's take on this because he's got a bit where he goes, when I was a kid, I was an altar boy. And to answer your question, no, I wasn't.
Yeah, there you go.
And I think it's because they knew I was a talker.
Well, there you go. Yeah, there you go.
Thanks, person. Love
My
you.
family, I have a
everybody.
family member that was involved in the Catholic Church sex abuse scandal out of Boston. My whole family left the Catholic Church over it. And
wow.
it's something that traumatized my family member. I mean, even to this day, the scars are there. And we grew up in a family. My great aunt was a nun. My great uncle was a priest. So there was
a big deal to leave.
Trust.
Yeah.
Am I supposed to feel bad because they never let any of my relatives in? Is that the plan? You don't have any nuns or priests in your family, Tom. Yeah, don't worry about my feelings.
Like, yeah, we got a bunch of sickos, though. Then they're like, okay, never mind.
Never
Come on
mind,
in.
come on in.
Same deal. Don't
Here's
worry
a
about
caller.
it. Same deal.
It's
That's
just
all true.
It's a lot, and I think I want to have solutions, and we obviously don't. But I'm just working on what is the verbiage you say around your kid that makes them feel empowered to know that these are their areas, these were they, all that stuff where I go, that's the only way I know, because adult-wise and predators, they know how to say the things and look the way and walk the walk, and it's just debilitating when you start going down those roads.
Yeah, but they say the earlier you start the language with your child, the better. And it's never too early to start, honestly, so that they understand what's right and wrong.
I have a question. They're missing out on some things here, unfortunately, in life, and I don't know why they'd want to. Give you an example. Just yesterday, right? Alex came over with her daughter and her son, and they were hanging out. We were having a great time. It was just very, very pleasant. So I walked them out to the car. They're going to go home and see their dad. They're all excited to go see because Dad's coming home from work and blah, blah, blah. And as I said goodbye, Fawny, who's just turned 7, rolled down the window and said, Bop, Bop, I love you very much.
Oh.
Did you cry?
You damn right I did. How do you get from that to, hey, what sex ought to do? What?
No.
Where does that even come from?
Just, be thankful your brain is working at its...
Yeah, exactly.
Just be thankful.
I just
because,
teared up again. Thanks a lot, Kristyn. Got a little misty-eyed.
That's the sweetest thing in this
You
world.
should thank your listeners. They wanted to hear about the documentary.
Yeah, exactly.
Kids are the best thing.
Well, look how lucky we are that we know that.
I know.
Some people apparently don't know that that's true.
They are the best thing. I mean, cats, dogs, kids.
Now,
end of list.
I should mention that about to turn 5 years old, her younger brother little Sagey.
What did Sage say?
He said, "Okay, poopy butt." Okay, thanks.
Yeah.
That's great.
Out of
Thank
the
you
mouth
so
of a
much.
boy.
Yeah, out of the mouth of a
Or the
4-year-old
preschool
boy.
Years, it's all like farts, poops, pee.
Yeah.
Ooh, he's about to turn 5 this week, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, up until the age of 9, my daughter and her friend's nickname for me was Buttface.
Buttface. Oh yeah. Oh, buttface. Yep.
That's all it was.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, now I see it. I see why.
Yeah. And in
It's
fact,
that really wide smile.
Yeah.
It's that butt face of yours.
when we got Hulu, we share it between like the families. There's like 4 or 5 of us on the account. My niece went into Hulu and changed my account to Buttface Uncle Rudy.
Buttface Uncle Rudy.
Yeah. So,
That was
it's
nice
true.
of her.
yeah, very. Yeah,
There you go. You had it coming.
absolutely.
Let's
and
be
also,
honest.
plus, you're right. That kind of looked like a butt.
I've been saying that behind your back constantly. I'm so glad it came out like
Behind
this.
your back.
He
Nice.
calls his therapist. Do I look like a butt face?
So I have a question for all of you, and I have a question for all of our listeners as well. How do you even get to the point where you go from, hey, your granddaughter just told us she loves you very much, to, I'd like to shtup one of my family members? How do you even get there is what I don't understand.
No.
Have you been through it yourself? Is that a big part of it?
Yeah.
I think for a lot of
think
people
so?
who've been abused, I do think
Yeah.
that
Jesus. See, now there's a perfect example of what people should learn about life. My dad was mentally ill. He and I never got along. He and I mean, we didn't like one another. There's no question about it. But you know what? I can be happy today because at least Bob didn't try to take a run at me, right?
I think that's talk
seriously,
about looking at an optimistic
Well, you
viewpoint.
should though. I mean,
I've been
look-
trying to get him to do that all day today, and it is the weirdest time
Yeah,
to
but I have
step
to work
up.
with you. How am I ever going to be in a good mood?
To say
It's a disaster.
to put on the rose-colored glasses in this situation, that's pretty
I want you to do me a
pretty
favor.
interesting.
I want you to do me a favor. Look at the 4 of us on screen. Why is your head so much bigger than everybody else's?
Mine?
You got a melon head. Look at that noggin.
Me?
She goes, me.
But I lean forward.
I have a really big head. I don't know
Do
why
you?
it looks
You got a big
small
forehead.
Here.
It's a good look on both of you, though.
Thanks. So I
I
grew
just
it
like to
myself.
point that out. I grew it. Yeah, you did. You grew it yourself. It's true. No, I think this stuff's important to talk about because I do remember back when I was a kid, there were some rumors of that stuff, and nobody would talk about it. It's like,
Right.
don't even talk about that. Don't even bring it up. Now we do talk about it, which I think is great.
Right. And it's also for the survivors, getting rid of like the stigma of shame, I think
Yeah.
is really
Yep.
important because that's something that they carry with them. And also the stigma of like going to therapy, because anyone who's a sexual abuse survivor needs the therapy. And it's important that we champion that for sure.
All right. Now, I know you only got a couple of minutes left, but I do want to ask you because it's one of my favorites coming up later on this hour. I just want to make sure we're right on time here, which we still are. Thank God for that. But at 8:50 this morning, we have Patricia Heaton on. I love her. I just love Patricia Heaton.
She's funny.
She's very funny.
And she's like quick-witted. She's not just
Yep.
like, oh, I'm a good comedic actress. She's someone that can ad-lib very quickly. So she may give you a hard time, which is great.
No, she's never done that before. What do you mean? Yeah, as a matter of fact, I can't remember what show it was. It was an award show, and she was wearing a dress that was too big for her. You might remember this. And what they did is they pulled the dress behind her back and put one of those big
Clips.
clip
Yeah,
on
yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah.
You remember
Clip.
seeing that with her? It was
They
on
do
some-
that. They do that quite a bit.
Oh, do they really?
Yeah,
Oh, I
when
didn't
They
know
do it
that.
on set a lot.
Yeah,
If
yeah.
It doesn't fit, or they want to give you like a waist. They'll like put a C clip behind
Yeah.
you.
Photo
Yep.
shoots is constant. Photo shoots
Yeah.
they do it constantly.
Do
with
they
clothes.
really?
Oh yeah.
Because I made fun of it, and she did not see the humor in it at all. So
Just a chip clip. They just threw a chip clip. They said,
Yeah,
"Oh,
it
these
looked like a
Doritos.
chip clip. Yep.
These Doritos, they can hold up open for a little while."
Yep.
Clomp.
I've used a chip clip at my house when I need to do something. I'm like, oh, I need to tighten that up. I
Oh,
just chip clip
God.
works in a pinch.
And then throw on a blazer. You're done.
Yeah, make sure you
Yep.
bring it up today too, Tom. That'll be great.
Oh, yeah.
piss her off again,
Don't.
Patricia.
Don't
I
tempt
did.
him, and you
Enough,
know he's
Tom.
gonna.
I do. I think the world. I think she's very, very talented. She's a very nice person, beautiful woman. She's got it all going. That's good.
Yeah, and had a great career too. Had
Yes.
that
Yep.
really long television career, successful. It's
She
great.
did indeed. All right, young lady. I love having you on till like 10 after 8. What a great thing this is. This works for me. Mm-hmm. You want to stay on till like 11? We're not even on till 11, but you can
Come
stay
on,
on.
Yeah.
Kristyn. Just hang
You're
out all day.
11.
We'll change
for
it.
you, it'd only be 9. That's right.
We'll change it to the Tom Barnard and Kristyn Burtt show.
Yeah, there you go. You're on
That's
from
final
now on.
offer. Just join the whole show.
From now on,
Everyone will
sister.
be like, get rid of her. We can't get rid of her.
Nobody's ever saying that. There'll be hell to pay if they do. All right, young lady, we'll talk to you tomorrow.
And I will see you in a little bit on the family.
Now, when are you coming to town, by the way? Because I see you and Catherine have been talking about that a little bit, haven't you?
No, we haven't.
Oh, I thought you
said that
had.
You were gonna. This has been okay. This is why I haven't met Tom in 11 years because he's
11
like,
years.
I'll get on it and I'll do it. And I texted him and then he never texted me back. And then on the show, he's like, I'll work on it behind
But I
the scenes.
passed it on to Catherine, and she dropped the ball, apparently.
No, I'm starting to think that nobody wants me in Minneapolis.
We want you in Minneapolis. I'm here to tell you.
I'm starting
Sometime
to
this
take it a
summer.
little personally. Like, nope.
Now, when you lived here, did you ever spend any time like go out to Lake Minnetonka and float
Yeah.
around in a boat and all that stuff?
I did. I loved summer. I did not love winter, but I did love
No.
summer.
Winter is hideous.
I loved my 3 weeks of fall. I love fall.
3 weeks of fall. That's about right.
Yeah,
That's about-
and what week and a half of spring. It was
week
great.
and a half of spring. That's basically the first week and a half in June. That's
Yep.
about it. All right. Well, we'll talk to you tomorrow, though, and we'll
No,
get this done.
You'll talk to me tomorrow, and you'll talk to me a little bit later today, and then
Oh, that's
you'll
right.
get
You're on today.
Yeah, and KB1, you'll whether I'm ever coming to Minneapolis or if that's just like a joke.
Okay. We'll talk to KB1 on the Family Podcast today.
Okay.
We got to get you in here, no doubt. Thank you, my dear. We'll talk to you later.
See you tomorrow, guys.
Kristyn Burtt, yeah, known her for 11 years, never met her. And the great part is, until this show, I never even knew what she looked like, which is pretty weird, I suppose.
Isn't that a weird world we live in?
After 11 years, you might want to know.
What if we just popped her up on StreamYard that day one and it was just like a 53-year-old guy with like a stained sweatshirt and just a pair of glasses? Yeah, and you're like, whoa, that is not the voice I thought would be coming out of that body.
I'd do a
Kristyn
slow
Burtt.
clap.
Yeah,
You'd
good
still
on you.
clap.
Long con.
You'd be good to the long con. Is that what you're calling it? Yeah. I have to ask some questions. You know, one thing I want to make very, very clear to our listeners is I don't have a political affiliation. I'm not a Democrat. I'm not a Republican. I have Democrat friends and I have Republican friends. So when I bring stuff up, Andy's particularly touchy about this. When I ask questions about politics, because I don't really have an opinion, I just like to learn things, why people do the things they do. There's a Minneapolis DFL chair deletes tweet mocking Ronald Reagan's death. What the hell is that all about? Now, I don't even know who that. So who is the DFL chair? I don't even know who that is. And again, I'm just trying to learn things here. I don't have an opinion about this. I probably wouldn't make fun of someone who died, but that's just me.
It's too soon.
It's only 19 years.
Way too soon.
Only 19 years of it. The chair of the Minneapolis DFL party on Monday deleted a tweet mocking the death of former President Ronald Reagan, swiftly drawing a rebuke from the state Republican Party, as well as DFL's own state chair. Yeah, see, this is what I'm saying. They're not making this a political deal either. Both parties agree that should not have happened.
Okay, and who put
That's a
out the
good
tweet again? It wasn't a comedian or somebody.
The chair of the DFL party.
Okay, you're right. That's not a place you don't get to be jokey joke McJokerson if you're in that spot.
I like
if
Jokey
Rudy,
McJokerson. I like that name.
if you're Rudy, you tweet something like that, funny,
Yeah,
subscribe,
that's true. It's
down.
his job.
But I feel like
Right.
you can't do that when you're a politician, right?
Monday was the 19th anniversary of the 2004 death of Ronald Reagan, a Republican who served 2 terms in the 1980s, presided over a resurgence of American might during a pivotal period of the Cold War, and remains a revered figure today for many Americans. Brianna Rose Lee, chair of the Minneapolis DFL, marked the occasion with a 10:29 a.m. Twitter post that read, 19 years ago today, Ronald Reagan did his one good deed for the world. See, the guy died. Really?
I'm laughing because
It's just
that's pretty
insane.
dark.
Yeah.
That's pretty dark.
Do you realize that being the chair of the Minneapolis DFL, maybe you shouldn't say things like, look, you don't like Ronald Reagan, good for you. I don't really have an opinion about Ronald Reagan. He did some good things, some things I didn't care for. But you're happy that he's dead?
That's rough.
What a horrible person you are. I'm not happy that anybody's dead.
I have a hard time with anybody who makes a joke about people dying. Like, even though you might not agree with Ronald Reagan, but let's not forget, like, he had a family, he had people, people loved him, he was beloved by some. Like, let's not.
But again, I do think it has like, okay, so if some edgy comedian wrote that, you'd go, not my joke, but you live your life.
Yeah.
Like, this is somebody involved. This is a politician. This is somebody who leads people and leads a party that claims that they want to help everyone. Why would you do that? That seems so silly.
Also, if I'm going to get canceled and thrown out, I'm going to have it be something more nefarious than just a tweet.
True that.
I want a dead hooker in the trunk. I want cocaine up my nose.
You think you are a Kennedy?
Yes.
Or at least a better tweet.
Yes.
Like funnier.
Yeah.
If I'm going to be canceled, I'm going to go harder than that.
Absolutely.
I'll close with this because I know we got to go to break, but I grew up Catholic.
Yeah.
And when JFK was elected, my mother went off the deep end because he was the first Catholic president of the United States. I said, Mom, you ever research that family at all? They might be in the mafia. I wouldn't be too excited about this.
Let her be.
Which makes me wonder, all those years later, 3 years later after that conversation with my mother in 1960, so I was 8.
Yeah.
But I, to this day, have always wondered, was that really a mafia hit instead of just let's take out the president?
I have no idea.
Because their father did a lot of, you talk about nefarious things. And again, that guy was a hero. I mean, like I said, it was the Pope, Jesus, and John F. Kennedy because he was Catholic.
Yeah.
In my house, that was a very, very big deal. But I don't know. I wasn't happy seeing anybody die.
No.
I mean, why would you be happy that someone died? He did the one good thing. He died. Oh, well, that's not even funny, Brianna.
Yeah, Brianna.
And by the way, 952-600-2575, Brianna, you want to call in and maybe you could suggest to us why you even did that.
Yeah.
Were you trying to be funny?
This is one of those things, too, where I go, yeah, she said a quick sorry, I'd go live my life. But that's me. I think people can write things and I'll go, that wasn't great, terrible taste, but if that would be a quick solution.
Mm-hmm.
I was feeling, I thought I was onto something.
Unless, of course, it was your relative, then you'd be hurt.
No, I'm saying even if somebody wrote something like, oh, wow, I don't want to take this personally. So let's say they say, thank God your dog Izzy's dead. I'd go, whoa. And they'd say, sorry, I don't know what I was doing. I'd go, okay, I forgive you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but not about your mother or father.
I would forgive somebody.
I wouldn't.
I know you wouldn't, but I
cut their nuts
would.
off.
I've seen enough people.
Brianna doesn't even have any nuts to cut off. Or maybe
You
she
don't know
does.
her
I don't
life.
know. Yeah, you're right. She might. You're absolutely right. There is nobody on earth that I dislike that much. Yeah. I don't hate anybody. I'm not going to waste my time hating anybody, right?
But let's say, this would never happen. Let's say your kiddo said something that was, your kids would not, though.
No, they would not.
Let's say I said something. I say dumb things all the time. What if I said something bad like this, and is there no coming back from apologies?
Yeah, no. Every day I get on the phone with Dan, and I go, how much longer do I have to put up with this?
Every day I write, I'd like to apologize for everything I said.
No, that was just intentionally hurtful.
It was.
And am I deeply offended by it? No, I didn't know Ronald Reagan.
Yeah.
But I just don't know why you'd even want to say something like that. It makes no sense to me.
Yeah, I think a quick apology and we can all
move on.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Oh God, how about this one?
Uh-oh.
The low rent rhetoric from the Minneapolis DFL chair, while not surprising, is just another example. See, now here's the problem I have right here. What did they turn it into? It's not about her. It's about the whole DFL. You can't say that. Now the Republican made a huge mistake.
Yeah.
You can't blame the entire Minnesota DFL because of what she did.
Yeah.
Why can't we get past this? Explain that to me.
I think we can. It's just, again, people have to put the human. She had to take a pause and go, this was a human. And now we have to go up, take a pause and say, this is a human who made a mistake.
I agree.
It's like, we don't need to next level this. We don't. This is not that big. This is a Twitter account, okay?
Yeah.
Like, this is not that big of a deal. I've said things where I've completely regretted. But luckily, I'm not famous enough that I can.
Yeah. You got a Twitter account just filled with things that should get you canceled, and nobody has seen it ever.
Yeah, there you go.
So go ahead and follow. Like and follow.
There you have it. All right, we do have to take a break because we've got Chris Egert coming up in just a couple of minutes. Well, just when you thought it couldn't get any better, Mike Lindell and MyPillow are launching the MyPillow 2.0. When Mike invented MyPillow, it had everything you could ever want in a pillow. Now, nearly 20 years later, he discovered a new technology that makes MyPillow even better. The MyPillow 2.0 has the patented adjustable fill of the original MyPillow. And now, with the brand new fabric that is made with a temperature-regulating thread, the MyPillow 2.0 is the softest, smoothest, and coolest pillow that you will ever own. Say goodbye to tossing and turning and flipping your pillow over in the middle of the night. And more great news on the MyPillow 2.0 buy one, get one free offer with promo code TOM. Make sure you use that when you buy the MyPillows, by the way. MyPillow 2.0 with its temperature-regulating technology is 100% made in the USA and comes with a 10-year warranty and a 60-day money-back guarantee. Just go to MyPillow.com, click on the radio podcast square to receive the MyPillow 2.0 buy one, get one free offer. Just when you thought the MyPillow couldn't get any better, MyPillow 2.0 gives you the best pillow ever. Enter promo code TOM or call 800-516-5146 to get your MyPillow 2.0s now.
The new Tom Barnard Morning Show is proud to have partners like Bradshaw & Bryant, MyPillow, and North American Banking Company founder, chairman, and president, Mike Bilski.
I've advertised on Tom's show for years, and the reason is simple. My business is recognized because of the ads, and that recognition has created growth. What business doesn't want to grow? I highly recommend the Tom Barnard Morning Show for your advertising.
Grow results for your business by partnering with the Tom Barnard Morning Show. Visit TomBarnardShow.com, keyword partner.
There's a guy named Tom Cross who likes to do kite things. Tom takes the phrase, go fly a kite, to an extreme, and for years goes all over the country in search of great kite flying events. Lincoln City, Oregon comes to mind, with Chinook winds and 7 miles of pristine beach that draws folks from all over North America for the best kite flying conditions in the world. Tom brings a little Minnesota with him when he goes to Lincoln City in his new Forest River RV Rockwood Roo, 19 expandable trailer, of course, that he hauls from Niemeyer Trailer Sales in Albertville and Elko Newmarket, Minnesota. Niemeyer Trailer Sales is the only place Tom would prepare his next kite flight. Solar panels, full bath, exterior griddle, double-door refrigerator, queen beds, and sleeps 6 every night in the RV Rockwood from the place that is your family-owned guide to RV trailers and truck accessories since 1965. This is Tom. Visit my friends at Niemeyer Trailer Sales and take your passion on the road. Niemeyer Trailer Sales. Go to NIEMEYERS.com. Niemeyer Trailer Sales. We are back, ladies and gentlemen. Apparently looking up at the screen. Apparently joining us now to talk about the news. Don Ho, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Look at that shirt, baby.
Look at it, summertime.
Yeah.
Summertime. He's got his Hawaiian shirt cooking.
Looking good.
I was at Lord Fletcher's a couple weekends ago for a birthday party, and I had the shirt on, and this guy, like younger guy, all muscled up, you know, like typical like boat meathead kind of guy. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes, sir.
He walks up to me in there, and he goes, man, that shirt's really ugly, dude, but I love how you're owning it. I'm like, thank you.
What?
That is unnecessary.
Ugly. That's a great shirt.
If you don't know what to say, you don't have to tell people anything. Like, what is he doing?
No, I mean, I kind of got what he was saying, but whatever. He was a meathead. It's fine.
How about this? Rodney Dangerfield. Look at that hat. Looks good on you, though. Now, he criticized the hat, but said, no, it looks good on you, so that's good.
You do such a good Rodney, Tom. I could listen to you just do that all day.
I should probably, one of these days when I retire from doing this, probably go on tour. I probably should. I've been asked to do that, but man, well, Rudy, you know, all that traveling that goes with it, and I'd have to wear makeup and a costume every night, and it's like, ugh, that would be a bitch.
Yeah.
Maybe someday, though. Give me something to do.
Yeah?
Yeah.
My favorite story is still the Cesario story. That is a brilliant ad lib, no doubt about it.
Speaking of guys who should just keep their mouth shut, the last time I saw Declan from Skor North, I was getting a cup of coffee at the commissary over at Hubbard headquarters, and he goes, you want any cream? Because he was standing next to like the fridge. He goes, you want any cream or sugar with that? I said, no, I just take my coffee black. He goes, basic bitch. What?
Basic bitch? What does that even mean?
I was like, first off...
I kind of love that he said that.
But what does it mean?
You call somebody basic when they drink White Claws. You know what I mean? I was like, first off, I think nowadays it is the trend buckers who actually drink black coffee. I don't have whipped cream on top. I don't take it with cream and sugar. I just drink straight up black coffee.
Yeah, you drink it like a freaking man. Like a man drinks it. Yeah. Black coffee.
Just like Columbo used to drink it, you know? Like that's how you drink coffee.
No, you mentioned another one of my favorite people. I love Peter Falk.
Yeah.
What a great guy.
I have been often accused of being a basic bitch when I pull out the Uggs. And there's a reason it's popular, okay? Yeah. Black coffee is amazing. It's simple. It's quick. You don't have to carry anything on you. It's perfect. Uggs are comfortable. Honestly, Rudy, you are a basic bitch sometimes.
Yeah.
I am a basic bitch sometimes. Chris? I don't know.
I'm a basic bitch. I'm a basic bitch. I drink frickin' black coffee. And if I'm going to have a maker's mark, it's going to be a little, neat. Like,
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't get your umbrellas on my drinks.
See?
But I do think Declan is in the wrong for using the term. Like, I don't think that black coffee is a basic bitch move. But I do love that he felt confident enough to call you a basic bitch.
I was like, who let a
That makes
toddler
me
in
like
here?
him
Yeah.
so much more.
What does that even mean?
It's like you do something very common. You do something that's like.
That's being a basic bitch?
Yeah.
That makes no sense.
I don't think you're a basic bitch, Tom. But
Well, it doesn't. First of all, a bitch is a dog, and they only called
it,
women
though?
bitches. Yes.
Is it when you call me a bitch?
How
do
about
you really...
this? How about the first time you hear me ever call Catherine a bitch, you better run right alongside me. That's all I'm saying. Because that ain't ever going to happen.
Has anybody called you a bitch, Tom? Like, I mean, genuinely, a guy been mad? Because I feel like that is the biggest insult. How women feel about the C word, when you call another man a bitch, I feel like, it gets under my skin.
I called you it yesterday.
Yes, you did.
I were on air because I was like, oh, wow, that felt right. But has a guy ever called you a bitch?
Oh, yeah. Only black men have ever called me a bitch. And I've never even been in an argument with a black man in my life.
Yeah.
Was it bitch?
Because they've won the argument with that. There's no reason to go on.
Hey, bitch. I do like that a lot, actually. Because it's just a dog. I mean, it's not that big a deal. Who cares?
Any generic thing will not hurt my feelings. Now, if you attack, my eyebrows that like to be one eyebrow, like if you come at me with specifics, you can hurt my feelings.
How about this? Your mother's a bum. How about that?
I wish. She's got so much energy. Oh my God, Beverly. I
got
can't
too
keep
much
up.
energy.
I should stay in our house right now. I'm exhausted. She's like, let's go on another walk. I was like, why? But no, generics don't hurt me. Like the C word, that doesn't hurt me. That actually is a clean, nice sounding word. And the B word, no, that doesn't bug me.
How about when guys used to go, oh, yeah, see you next Tuesday?
I know, be brave. Say it. Say it.
Yeah. See you next Tuesday.
Say it.
Shut up.
And I also don't mind. But I was also in the military where they would throw that out quickly and I go,
Yeah.
You know me better than that. Make fun of my calves.
What does it actually mean? Where did the word come from? It has to be derived from something. But I don't know. Where did the word even come from?
I don't know.
To the Google.
Do the Google, man. I like it. It's all, I didn't, because it really, I'm trying to think where it even would have come from to call somebody that. Because I know in England they just call people that all the time. Why in the open?
Yeah.
Mostly men calling each other that, but so it might not mean the same thing in England. Just kind of means you're a loser or something. I don't know.
Just to give you guys a heads up, there's an actual Wikipedia page on the word.
There you go. I thought it would be. Now, what does it mean?
It looks like it comes from Middle Low German.
There's a shot.
Is what it said. Originally, so I think there was a version of it that started in Germany that then made its way to Norway, and then Sweden is where we get the terminology that we use today.
Oh, okay.
The history of the word, originally it was a place name for a London street.
Really?
Called, I can't say this. It was called Grope Sea Lane.
What?
Ah.
Yes.
Now that's a Tuesday.
There you go. We got it made. Now, Grope Sea Lane.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. That is.
I think Egert's going to vomit. I'm looking at him right now.
I feel like some people just make up crap on Wikipedia.
That's what it's for.
Yeah, that's true.
It's literally what it's for.
It is crowdsourced, right? Like, you don't necessarily...
But I don't know why people set themselves up like that. Like, if I went around and said, if anyone calls me a bitch, I'm going to be so mad.
Yeah.
I agree with Rudy. There is something about if a dude calls another dude a bitch in a certain way, it's very insulting.
Oof.
Like, it is.
You're being a little bitch right now, Chris.
It's all about the tone.
Yeah.
It's all about the tone.
What's the name of that great movie the guy says to another guy in a bar, sugar tit all the way.
Sugar tit.
I think that's fair. Sugar tit all. What? So a sugar tit, wasn't that like they would in the Depression,
Yeah.
they would put sugar in a handkerchief, roll it up in a ball, and the baby would suck on that.
Is that what a sugar
I
tit
guess that's
derives
what a
from?
That's what a sugar tit was, yes, I guess.
Tom, you referred to me as a sugar tit several times.
I know.
So much so that some of the fellas around the building here who regularly listen to me or listen to you and aware that
Thank
I'm on the
God.
show, they'll walk by and be like, "Hey, sugar tit," like just like.
Thanks, Tom. We really appreciate it.
So thank you.
It's funny because on the Wikipedia page, they actually have a list of all the songs that the word is used in.
The C word?
Yeah.
Really?
And as I'm going down and I'm looking at it, and I'm like, there's a pattern here. It's Busta Rhymes, Nicki Minaj, Azalea Banks, Flo Rida. However, I was like, first I was laughing thinking, okay, where's Gordon Lightfoot on this list? Not on there, but a Queen used the word in
Really?
a song. Wow, I had no idea. It is from the. Oh, you know what? Actually, never mind. I apologize. Queen. Oh, goddamn Wikipedia is screwing me again. Queen is the name of a song that Nicki Minaj had also used. I thought that makes more sense now because I was like, Freddie Mercury's better than using that word in a song.
No, I feel like that would be iconic. For Queen to use it?
I will retract that statement.
Yes.
You're right. He should have used it.
He could totally have passed, and I would have said, yep, he can use that. for
I need
sure.
the help of Rudy and Chris. Has there ever been a television station or a radio station with those call letters? Because some people would not have known, starting with a K, what that would even mean.
Or if it was like KNT, I could see
It could have maybe in Huntsville, Alabama. There was
well,
a.
see, that's what I'm saying. There could have been. We should look at it.
Good morning and welcome to K Hunt.
K Hunt, yes.
You're going to
Hunt.
love this KNT, baby.
I bet you somebody's come close. Because I know they've had KOCK was a radio station in, I believe, Oklahoma.
KNT rocking your world. Morning.
KOKK was a station I worked for in here on South Dakota.
KOKK, that's exactly right. See, there you go. You're listening to The Cock. Well, thank you.
Out of Kingston, Tennessee, 104.3 WKNT.
Yes.
Oh, no.
Looks like I have a move in my future.
You got a place to work.
Looks like it was nice working with you, gentlemen.
Is there a K prick for you and me, Rudy?
There's got to be one out there. If not, we can start calling that this
You're
for
listening
sure.
to K prick.
K prick.
I like it. Works for me. But yeah, KOKK, you work there. This in Huron, you said?
A little bit of prick in the morning. Yeah, baby.
See? It all works out in the end. No question. So any other big news stories we should be knowing about here, Pally?
A couple things are interesting. I don't know if you guys caught this pursuit and crash that happened yesterday, or like 6 kids who stole a Hyundai or something in North Minneapolis and had been known by police for a while. Anyway, there was a police pursuit and they crashed into a bus shelter and hurt some innocent people. And that's going to be something you're going to be hearing more about because, you hear a lot about the juvenile crime. And then B, you've got the certain kind of vehicle that seems to get stolen a lot. And then you've got a police chase involved. So there's lots of layers to that. That was kind of a big thing from yesterday. And other than that, there's an apartment fire overnight out in Loretto in far western Hennepin County. But
really,
other than that, it was. And then the air quality thing's kind of a thing again today. And then that did you guys see that virtual I told you about yesterday? The Apple's new $3,500 virtual reality headset.
Yeah, I watched that. That was bleak. It was.
I think the idea is that this in this form won't exist anymore, and like you'll wear your phone on your face.
But yeah, and
it'll be glasses.
Yep.
You're right, and that's so spot on, Chris, because it wasn't like it was new things. It was just integrating your exact phone layout, but you have to wear these hideous goggles.
I mean, I think that'll evolve, and usually when Apple gets involved in something, like they've got the kind of research and the tech to be able to like turn it into what they need to monetize it. But I don't know. I'm not paying $3,500 for freaking anything. I ain't got $3,500, but I'm certainly not using a pair of virtual reality headset for that.
To
or
text
classes or
to text somebody in VR. That was pretty much what the video was. I was like,
Yeah.
they're just texting in VR.
so I can get on Facebook and well, that didn't work. The metaverse thing kind of took a dump, didn't it? I don't think anybody was really into that.
Yeah, because the metaverse tried to hook up. That was the big thing was they partnered with Oculus, and they wanted to make it a thing. And they initially made you sign up for a Facebook account if you don't have one, which a lot of kids didn't, to have any sort of subscription on your Oculus. And then they just probably about a year ago finally said, fine, we're going to quit making you have a Facebook account because these 12-year-olds are like, I don't want this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that.
Tommy, are you on Facebook?
Nope, but they're trying to talk me into getting back on there. I was on Twitter, Facebook. I don't think I was ever on it. True Social I was on there because Mike Lindell started that. God, I haven't talked to Mike Lindell in months.
Who's trying to talk you into getting to Facebook?
My family.
Yeah, I don't think that's a good idea.
Why? I think threatening people. What's wrong with that?
I think you're fine. There's enough people running your socials.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I don't have any
good.
interest
You're
in
good.
it. It just all I ever did was argue with people.
I mean, it lends itself to that.
Yep.
It does.
I mean,
Mostly
if
all
you're-
that.
But here's what I don't understand about it. All of a sudden, everybody on there is a tough guy. It's like, I've met tough
For
guys.
sure.
You and I are not tough guys, okay? So stop it on social media.
Yeah,
Jesus.
I agree. You're spot on with that. I guess I was wondering because that whole metaverse thing and blah 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 blah. I don't know. I got a hard enough time just handling reality, let alone like having a whole nother freaking life in virtual reality. Like that seems very stressful to me.
Yeah.
No, there's no. And plus the fact we're learning, obviously, Bill Gates is a prime example of what a psychopath asshole most of those people are. Now, he doesn't own one of those sites, but he's huge in Microsoft and all the rest of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
What a horrible human being that man is. You know that he's the biggest landowner now in America?
I've heard that.
There's a reason for that, and we'll get to it someday. It ain't good, man. This guy is just he's way over the top. Well, his wife left him. What does that tell you? Oh, maybe I shouldn't have said that because maybe a couple other guys on the show might have happened to, but you know. You know what I'm saying. Catherine,
Me? My wife never left me.
yeah, there you go. Catherine,
One thing I'll say about Bill Gates, because we lived in Seattle for a while.
Oh, right, yeah.
Like he lives on what's called Lake Washington there, and it's a huge palace of a home, as you would expect.
Sure.
There was a boat that didn't look like a boat. It's technically a boat. It almost looked like an oil rig. It was sitting.
Yeah.
It's the only way I can think of to describe it.
Right.
This oil rig shaped boat was sitting out in front of his place, and it was a helicopter pad. It was a boat that was so big it had a helicopter pad on it.
Ooh.
That was its only function, was to be able to so I guess I'm just saying, like, the level of money is, you know, you can't even really comprehend it. But this is where I was interested in Bill Gates, because one day I was like, I think our house got flooded and we had to stay downtown in a hotel with little kids and dogs and all this crap. And it was during holiday time, and there was one of those like gingerbread house displays in the front lobby of the hotel.
Mm-hmm.
And I was walking on my way to work, and I looked into the lobby, and there's frickin' Bill Gates, like with his family, sitting there looking at this stupid ginger house. And I'm like, oh my God, like, this is like the richest man in the world still has to do this boring crap with his family.
That's kind of negative. Just a little.
It's just one of those things, you know, like maybe the kids were into it or the mom was into it. And he's like, oh, good. We get to go downtown and look at gingerbread houses. It was just so funny. I looked up, and there's freaking Bill Gates looking at gingerbread houses. And I was like, what the? Anyway.
It's just
went to work.
lovely. Yeah, that's lovely to know that some of those struggles are universal, to have to do
Yeah,
things
that's
you
what I'm
don't want to
saying.
do.
Lovely.
Absolutely. I get that.
Do you think those houses, Ben Affleck just bought a new house, has 24 bedrooms in it? 24 bedrooms. Is this a penis thing? Look how big my wiener is.
For sure.
That's what this is, isn't it?
I mean, I don't know. I don't have a.
I mean, I don't know personally.
I don't have a big enough bank account to be able to do that, but that's what it feels like to me.
Doesn't it? Look at how powerful I am. Andy has a
It's
giant
like
penis.
boats.
See, there you go, right there.
I got this one a couple years ago, and I'll never forget it. So I was talking about, we had just got our first boat. My kids were little. It was like the coolest thing for us. It was not much of a boat, right? It was very basic little boat, and I was talking to somebody about it. And the way you flex on other people with your boat, apparently, is she's like, "Oh, what kind of boat do you have?" And I'm like, "I don't know, the 18-foot Larson." You know, again, like a very, very simple little boat. She's like, "Oh, that's." She goes, "Our boat has 97 cup holders or something ridiculous."
Oh, well.
What a weird flex.
What a great idea.
It was the cup holders.
That's
and I was
so
like, oh
weird.
my God.
97 cup holders and 0 friends to use them.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Enjoy your cup holder. Anyway, I still have interaction with this person. This is probably 10 years, 8, 9 years ago. I still cannot look at this person without thinking about the cup holder flex with the boat.
Oh, yeah.
And I think different. I have a lesser opinion of this person for doing that. I was like, come on.
I feel that.
You actually took the time to count them, lady. Is that what you're saying? You counted the cup holders.
It's so, you should just see all the cup holders on this thing.
What?
Oh my God.
I never have to hold my drink. Everywhere I go, I can just set it down and know it's safe.
It pisses me off just talking about it again right now.
That's so funny.
It's
But I will
really
say,
stupid.
ideally, I like to have at least 3 cup holders available in my car at all times.
3?
Yeah.
For a bottle?
I have my water, my coffee, and then like whatever drink that I had that needs to get thrown away in a little bit has to go in the side one. So I feel like
You don't throw away your drinks when you get out of the car?
I will, but once I first get in the morning, sometimes it's still in there and I have to transfer it until I walk here.
No. It's when you get out, never get in.
Well, I've seen your car many times, Tom, and we live different lives. I always go, what, did he just get that? Why is there no particle of any, there's no proof anyone's ever been in your car ever?
And that's the plan right there.
Like I've got sweaters, I've got, baby toys, I got pacifiers everywhere, and you look like you just drove it off the lot.
I asked Dougie over at Flagship Ford when I picked up my new car, please weld the passenger door shut.
I know. You've gotten in my car. You've seen that we are not living parallel lives, sir.
And as you do know, Catherine always drives. I never drive when we're together.
Does she keep her car really clean too?
Yeah, she does. She does a pretty good job with it. But yeah, she will not ride in a car if I'm driving.
Yeah.
Said I'm too aggressive.
Yeah.
How do you see me as aggressive, for Christ's sake? That's what I want to know.
Where do they even get that?
Where do they even get it? All right, Pally. Hey, Rudy stiffed me on. You want to play golf today, Chris?
Oh God, I got crap all day today. I would love to though next time.
We'll get a foursome.
We still have people in town for the graduation and everything later on this week, so I otherwise I would.
Are you still pretending your kids graduated from somewhere?
Yeah, well, I think if it's supposed to actually walk down the old aisle for the ceremony on Thursday.
Oh, okay.
I'm not gonna. Until that moment happens, I'm gonna assume he's not graduated. So I need to see that actually happen.
No, see, I try to be, because I know you got to go and do your other duties and all the rest of it.
What?
Otherwise, I would invite you to stay because Patricia Heaton is a phenomenal guest. But I know you're busy.
Wow.
I love her.
Yeah. Oh, cool. Well, that'll be nice.
You got it, Pally. We'll talk to you again tomorrow.
Okay. Have fun golfing later.
Thanks a lot, pal.
See you, bud.
Chris Egert, Channel 5 Eyewitness News. We'll take a break. Be right back. Patricia Heaton will join us right after this.
This is the Tom Barnard Morning Show. Listen live on the Tom Barnard Show app or at tombernardshow.com.
This is Bob Sansevier, and I want to tell you about Dave Bialki from Bialki Law. Dave represented my wife, Mary, when she had a significant workplace injury. She was very happy with the job Dave did. If you have a work-related injury and have Dave represent you, I'm betting you'll be happy too. Dave is a down-to-earth guy. He grew up in northern Minnesota, rides a Harley, and worked various jobs doing concrete, electrical, plumbing, roofing, and carpentry work. Dave works for people with work-related injuries. If you work construction, or anywhere for that matter, and you're hurt or even just hurting, you should talk to Dave. Let's face it, our bodies wear out. If your body is worn out from work, if your knees or back or shoulders hurt from things you do at work, do what Mary did. Call Dave and talk to him about it at Bialki Law to set up a free initial consultation. The number to call is 763-571-2410. That's 763-571-2410. Or visit bialkilaw.com. That's BIALKE law.com.
That office just kept going.
It's all true. Oh, we back?
Yep.
Good. We just met one of our new neighbors, Mark. He was pushing a cart down the hall. He's a big listener. We love to hear that. The big listener's moving across the hall. But I had no idea that office is that big.
Yeah.
It's huge.
Rudy, it's wild. So,
Really?
like, you kind of walk and there's this, like, huge hallway. And Tom's like, this is big. And I go, just wait till you round the corner.
Jesus.
And it's huge. And they have this giant kitchen. And Mark said we can use that kitchen.
So you want to use the kitchen. They got everything you'd ever want.
I mean, I think we just made a very powerful friend.
Is Google moving in next door? Who is
Yeah,
this
maybe
guy?
that's what it is.
It was like JKL or JLK Engineering. I'm not sure.
Yep,
But
JLK
Nice.
Engineering.
Yeah.
Was it JKL, JLK? Now I
know it started with a J.
And it had a K and an L in it.
I think it's J.K. Rowling's.
J.K. Rowling, that's exactly who it is. So let me know when Patricia's ready to go, and we'll be all set.
I certainly will.
Magnificent. But yeah, Mark, thank you very much. And of course, he comes around the corner. And I say hello to him, then Brittany comes out, and she meets him, all the rest of it. And he goes, I hope you don't mind, because I've heard you mention it on the show before, but I test jackhammers over.
So he said, and my eyebrows went about to the roof. I go, I'm going to watch this interaction.
No, they do not. He made that up because he's such a long-time listener that he knew that I bitched about the.
Oh, yeah.
Honest to God, for about 2 months, it was. Brrr,
Oh, yeah.
God.
It
was horrible.
Nice.
Yeah, that was cool.
Well, when you guys first got here, they were still jackhammering around this area, weren't they?
Yeah.
I thought so, yeah.
I get here before you guys do, and I'm just in the studio, and it's super quiet in here. And you can hear everything through these hallways.
Yeah.
And there was, like, 3 days ago, there was a guy who just, like, out of nowhere, just yawned and screamed the F word. And it was like he was standing in the room.
What?
He just screamed F.
What if it's a ghost?
It was wild.
We
I'm
have
like, yeah.
most agonized ghosts that have to just go through board meetings all the time.
They're in nothing but pain, is that what you're saying? See, I'm telling you, and the show's doing really, really well, and I know that, and all the rest of it, but I run into listeners every day now. I mean, that's so cool to run into you guys, you men and women out there that listen to the show. I run into you every day, and it's just so damn cool to meet all of you. Our listeners are very nice people. You ever known that?
Our listeners are amazing. Our listeners are amazing.
But I still have to talk our listeners into using a promo code because they don't use them. Apparently, our listeners actually have money to buy things.
I cannot relate to that because I will find a promo code for anything.
Oh, no, I
use.
understand. You should use promo codes. It's a prudent thing to do. But I've heard from other clients going, we never have anybody use the promo code. I'm like, yeah, I know.
Saving money is such a Minnesota thing. If somebody compliments anything, I will tell them 40% off, 10% off. I will go, that shirt, 20% off. It's a Minnesota thing to flex about how much you save.
I can see that. That would make sense. Oh, Patricia's ready to go? Patricia Heaton, how are you today?
I'm well, thank you.
It's so great to have you back on because the first time I interviewed you was many, many years ago. And I've always been a big fan of yours anyway.
Thank you.
That particular day, I don't remember what it was about, Patricia, but you were wearing a dress that had to be pinned with like 2 big clips in the back. Do you remember that?
I don't.
Honest to God, it was just so great because I brought it up. I said, Patricia, why do you have a big clip in your back with that dress? And you kind of like, none of your business, damn it. That was wonderful. Patricia Heaton, one of my favorite people to interview, promoting her new independent film, Mending the Line, in theaters this Friday, June 9th. Patricia, I want to hear how you've been. I want to hear all about your movie. So I'm going to shut up and listen.
Well, thanks. Thanks for having me. Mending the Line is a terrific movie that I immediately said yes to because Brian Cox was in the cast.
Oh, sure.
and I would have been happy to play his Cocker Spaniel. So I was just, just to get the chance to work with him. But Mending the Line is this great story about our veterans, about trauma, about
Patricia, I'm sorry. We're going to have you call back maybe. We're having a problem with the line.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll have Art call us right back, and we'll get you set up again. For some reason.
Okay, perfect.
Okay. Awesome. Thanks. Yeah.
Thank
Sorry
you.
about that.
I just love her. She's
Yeah.
got such a good attitude. She's like, okay, whatever. And I'm going, what the hell are you doing flipping yourself in the back? And she's like, shut up.
I'm like so excited to have her on. I love
great.
her.
I
She
do
was
too.
the middle was one of my first time I saw a household where I go, that's like my household.
Yeah.
It's not like Full
That was a great
House.
show.
It's not like everything's put in its perfect place. It was very much so like, yes, I can relate to that. We are like, struggling a little bit financially. At the same time, we're having a good time. Like, the middle was everything to me.
The Everybody Loves Raymond episode with the suitcase sitting at the end of the stair and who's going to take it up. That might be one of the best episodes of television ever made. It's so funny and so relatable.
Yeah.
Phenomenal show.
And that's what I love, too, is like we went through this kind of, the 90s had all these unrealistic, and some of the 2000s, early 2000s, had all these unrealistic expectations of a household and a family where everyone got along and the kitchen table didn't have anything on it, and all these things where it was just not. I would see that and go, we are not the Brady Bunch. We are not Full House.
Right.
I am not step by step.
Right.
Our family reflected step by step because we had a bunch of step family.
Oh, okay.
But it was just so unrealistic, that the dynamics of the family and the way the house was put together, that it was so fun to see the middle. I just thought that was one of the
It was a
best
great
shows.
show.
Oh, so
It was a
good.
really, really good show.
Yeah.
But she's always, everything she's ever been in, she's been really, really good. No doubt about it.
Yeah.
She's
We're
good.
We're good to go?
Yeah.
Now, Patricia, because I used to be in the radio business, now in the podcasting business, I have to do this to you. When I bring you back on, I got to go like this. So you ready, Patricia?
Yeah.
Okay. Patricia Heaton. We could use the same voice. It'd be wonderful. Anyway, we were talking about Mending the Line and how happy you are with Mending the Line in theaters this Friday, June 9th. So now you sound perfect now, by the way. You sound great.
Oh, great.
Yep.
Great. Yeah, Mending the Line is just a beautiful movie about fly fishing, about our veterans, wonderful actors, Cinqua Walls, and, of course, Brian Cox from the incredible show Succession.
Mm-hmm.
And I play a VA doctor. And it was wonderful to be able to be in scenes with Brian and just to be a part of this movie that talks about our veterans in this way and what they struggle with and the hopefulness of healing. I think since the pandemic, the idea of dealing with our mental health has come to the forefront more, which is a great thing. And so to be able to be a part of that was important to me. I work a lot with the Gary Sinise Foundation.
Oh, sure.
And right, and Gary does so much, and all the supporters do so much for our veterans. One of their main things is building houses for wounded vets, but the mental health of our veterans is a big part of what Gary's foundation works with. And, what's great about being in Hollywood is to be able to work with wonderful people, but also on topics that really are important, but done in such a beautiful storytelling way that's also, entertaining.
You know what I love about this, Patricia, is I'm of the age that at the end of the Vietnam War came along. I was too young, actually. I think I actually turned old enough at the very last year of the war, so I never actually went in.
Okay.
But why this is so important to me, Patricia Heaton, with us. And by the way, do you have to be out at a specific time because we lost a couple minutes there? I want to make sure I don't run over your time.
I think Art will, help with
Art
that.
will yell at me? Tom,
he will.
damn it.
Art.
Art's a good man. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
But anyway, this is why it means so much to me, Patricia, because all those years ago, while you were talking just now, I thought back to not one, not two, not three, but 4 of my friends never came back from Vietnam. So the fact that people like you care about that is huge for me.
Well, I was, I was also around in the 6th and 7th grade when all of that was going on. And, having friends whose brothers went over, and worrying about whether they were coming back or not made it very real for me at that time. So, I just think it's an important topic, and you can never do too much for our veterans.
Patricia, first off, thank you so much. I'm a veteran, and what you do is amazing, and especially the mental health piece and the housing, all of that is just so important. But when you were off air, I had to mention something that watching The Middle was the first time I saw a household that was similar to mine, and I thought that was so cool growing up. There was things on the table. It was messy. Not everyone knew what you were eating that night. There's eccentric, you know what I mean? I thought that was just so awesome. We talk about, representation in different forms that takes. And I have to say, that was the first time I go, that house looks like my house. And it was just, awesome.
Yeah, that's your sentiment was, widespread amongst our audience who felt finally seen. Yeah. Because the show was called The Middle because it was about everybody that wasn't on the East Coast or West Coast, which is where so many shows are set.
Yeah.
It's like East Coast, West Coast, or Chicago. For some reason, Chicago is the other place every show is set.
Right? Yeah.
That whole middle America where the big activity of the weekend is to go mattress shopping in French Lick.
Exactly.
I mean, to be able to create a show around that, and around playing cornhole, or having to take on an extra job at Christmas to pay for presents.
Exactly.
And that is right.
Yeah, and not making it sad either. It wasn't like, here's sob stories. Here's actually a super happy family that does have a side job sometimes, or does have, a mess. And so, thank you so much for doing that.
Oh, well, that was our incredible writers, Eileen Heisler and Deanne Helene, who were both from the Midwest, from Ohio and Indiana. And they just captured it. It was such an homage to that Midwest upbringing. And it's how I grew up, as you grew up. And I think there's a reason that it ran for 9 years. And now also does really well in streaming. People just love it. It's like comfort food. It was just a wonderful experience to do. And I love that people still finding it and enjoying it.
Ladies and gentlemen, Patricia Heaton promoting a new independent film, Mending the Line, in theaters Friday, June 9th. I will close with this. And please come back soon, Patricia, because we love you on this show. You know that. But,
yeah, thanks.
I would say this. When I did mention the clip on the back of your dress all those years ago, I said, where'd you get that dress? And you said, well, that'd be none of your damn business.
I've mellowed a bit since then.
No, we love you,
we
sister.
We love you so much.
Come back, okay?
I will. Thanks for having me.
Patricia Heaton, ladies and gentlemen. I adore that woman. I really do. She's just so damn talented. Yeah. Beautiful, beautiful woman. Very sweet. But she basically, why don't you go screw yourself? I just love that about her.
That's a perfect match for your asking where she bought that dress.
Where'd you buy the dress? None of your goddamn... She actually said none of your goddamn business, actually.
Which is perfect. She's not wrong.
No, she's not wrong. Oh, no. It's Miller time. Boy, I bet you never heard that before.
How's it going?
Good.
Let me see your
so
T-shirt. Is that the Starlight Drive-In?
Yeah.
It's because there used to be one up in Brooklyn Park as well. There was a Starlight up there as well back in the day.
Oh, really?
Yeah, absolutely.
I actually, I just wrote for Minnesota Monthly an article on all the remaining Minnesota drive-ins.
And what do we got?
We got the Starlight. We got the
That's the one in Litchfield.
In Litchfield, yeah. That's kind of my drive-in. That's the one I go to because the Valley High closed recently. Which is a real bummer. Yeah, well, the Woodbury Town Council basically drove them out by imposing a bunch of stupid restrictions on their water system and their sewer system that have been the same. Yep. They did that because they wanted to drive them out because they've been jacking the value of the property up right around that because that is becoming all condominiumized, and a drive-in takes a big footprint. And so they wanted all that land. So they kind of forced the guy's land to be so expensive that he kind of has to sell, which is a real bummer. But we still have the Starlight. We have the Vern Drive-In in Laverne.
In Laverne, yep.
The Long Drive-In in Long Prairie.
Where I was born.
And the Sky... Oh, really?
I was born in Long Prairie, yep.
All right. And the Skyview Drive-In. I don't remember the Skyview is off the top of my head. But it's out there. Skyview is a good one, too.
I don't know where Skyview. I don't know where that is.
It's in the article. It'll be in Minnesota Monthly. I write them all up this month.
Are you old enough to remember the France Twin Drive-In?
No, I didn't live here until 2008. So yeah.
Oh yeah. So there was not one but two drive-in theater screens at 494 and France Avenue.
Yeah, one of the first ones, I believe, in the Twin Cities.
It was phenomenal. God, it was gorgeous.
The Starlight still has two screens. They're the only double screened. They have a big screen and a smaller screen. So they'll do one that's all family friendly on one, and then they'll do like a PG-13 or an R-rated movie double feature on the other one.
God, I love going to the drive-in. Very quickly, here's one of my favorite drive-in stories of all time. Last year, Catherine and I were down in Florida on vacation, and we wanted to go to a drive-in and see. It was Ryan Reynolds was in the movie, but I can't. It was
Free Guy.
What was it?
Free Guy, I think. Was that it?
Was that what it was? Probably.
Yeah, where he's the video game character.
He's really good.
Yeah, funny guy.
Really, really funny guy. Really good.
Looks good on a drive-in screen too. He's very handsome.
Yeah, he's a very handsome guy. And he owns Mint Mobile now, so he's very wealthy.
Yes, he is.
And that soccer company, or he owns that soccer team too.
Yeah, he does. Yeah. So Catherine and I want to go to a drive-in. We don't know the area all that much. It's down in, I suppose, Boynton Beach, somewhere down there. So we pull up and we buy our tickets and all the rest of it. And I go in and buy some popcorn and all that, and I get back to the deal. And all of a sudden, all of these people started coming over and tapping on the window and saying, God, thanks so much, man. It's great to see you guys here. Where are you guys from? And everybody was just so excited we were there. We realized that we were the only white people at that drive-in.
Really?
And every black person in that damn theater parking lot, or whatever you call that space. They all came over and said, God, it's so cool that you came to our drive-in, man. It's great to have you.
Interesting. It was almost like a black-owned drive-in, maybe?
Yeah, I guess. Huh. But it was so damn nice, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, I like nice, and then for a balance, there's nice, and then there's that pain in the ass Judd Zulgad. Oh, wait a minute, there he is right there.
Oh, whoops. Hey, everybody, what's going on?
Hey, Judd.
Rudy, hey, Tom.
How are you, Judd?
I'm doing good.
Oh, can you not hear? Now what did you do?
Oh, I had to turn them on.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Again, now's the time to talk shit about Brian. Remember that.
Yeah, right now's the time to talk.
There's volume on it, too.
Oh, it says Sports Dad on your screen today. So Bryan Miller's in studio with us, ladies and gentlemen. How long have I known you, Brian? Years.
Oh, going on 15-ish years,
15
I think.
years.
Yeah,
God,
from back when you were above Acme.
You're still not talking to Sansevier, are you?
Every Wednesday.
I knew it.
Oh,
Sandy.
How's Bob doing? How's Bob? Bob's great. I love Bob.
Bob, he took me and my wife horseback riding recently. It was a lot of fun.
Isn't his place the best?
It's incredible.
I know. I've brought in so many people there, and we have to go see Bob Sansevier. When there's kids around, we got to go see.
It's like a petting zoo and a horse riding thing, and then you got Bob doing riffing in the background.
With his Jersey accent, complaining about every one of the 80 horses he has.
Sandy's the worst, let's be honest.
Well, I'm kind of mad at him. Me and Rudy,
you are?
Me and Rudy are a little mad at him. He was supposed to do some homework that he obviously didn't do for Monday, but we're going to get on him on Friday.
Homework for what?
For the show. We set up a cool...
And he didn't do his part?
Well, yeah, remember on Monday? Brian, to give you a little backstory, we started doing this thing with Bob Sansevier called Crumpet the Orb. He is an orb when we do this StreamYard thing, and I'm like, well, let's do this thing where every single Monday, Crumpet the Orb gives some predictions throughout the week. It doesn't have to be sports. It could be anything that he wants.
Sure, kind of a Karnak type thing.
Yeah, Karnak, exactly. And then on Friday, we'll see if any of his predictions come true.
Oh, yeah.
And then we can keep a running tally. So it comes to Monday, and Bob Sansevier is like, all right, Bob, what do we got? We got the whole intro. We got everything set up. We're ready to go. I'm like, what do you got? And he's like, I bet on Friday, Brittany's going to play with her hair, and then she's gonna call me an idiot, and then she's gonna say that I need to play with my hair.
It was like in true Bob fashion, did none of his homework and panicked and was like, here's an idea.
Like, yeah, I was like, God damn it, Bob. We talked about this on Friday. Like, we had text messages back and forth, and he was like, yeah, sorry. So then we just moved on, and I was like, all right, well, I guess I shouldn't have spent 2 hours here on Friday getting everything set up. And
So we're currently arguing with Bob, but as you know, it's pretty normal. That's per usual.
Sandy's the best. I got to tell you guys something because you brought up Karnak, and you had brought up Johnny Carson a little early today too. I decided to go back to the very, very first episode I could find, 1974. It was February 2nd, 1974. Because I want to start watching it from the beginning, because it changed television forever. There's no question. Even though Steve Allen did it before him and other people did, Johnny Carson nailed it. He was just so good. But this is how different the world is. From February 2nd, 1974, Carson comes out, and he's funny as hell, like he always was. He goes, I got to tell you, though, ladies and gentlemen, that we're all suffering through it with you. Across America, things have gotten really, really crazy. The economy is... And he was not making it up. He said, I could not believe what I had to pay for a gallon of gas. I filled my car up on the way in, and there was a line forever because I guess, there must be some kind of shortage or something. I never thought I'd see the day when I had to pay 53 cents a gallon for gas.
I know.
53 cents a gallon.
Even adjusted for inflation, it's got to be like $1.50.
Yeah,
exactly.
I know. The other day I watched Guarding Tess with Nick Cage.
Oh, yeah.
And they're standing outside of a gas station, and it says, gallon of gas, 92 cents. And I was like, go screw yourselves.
But the thing back then was the lines. Do you guys
the lines were forever, yes.
Recall the lines?
Yep.
And then gas stations would run out of gas. And so they'd put up a sign, and you'd be, the third next in line and totally screwed. That was the problem then.
Mm-hmm. No question about that whole deal. But I do remember all the way back to, I can't remember what kind of gas station it was, but it was at Thomas Avenue and West Broadway, just kind of where you go to the,
my veterinarian.
The vet, yeah.
Yeah, Broadway
Couple blocks
Vets.
in there.
Shout out to Broadway Vets.
You're probably there all the time, right?
I'll be there on Thursday. That's why I'm bringing Murphy into the studio.
Yeah, there you go. So, yeah, I'm like, I guess, 12, 13 years old or something. They built this gas station, and they put the sign up, and I'll never forget, gas was $29.9 a gallon. $29.9, and now what is it now? Like $8 or what the hell is it now? I don't even know.
Yeah, I was on the road on my way to Norfolk, Nebraska. Speaking of Johnny Carson, I got to southern Minnesota, and there was a gas station that had octane 88 for $2.19 a gallon.
God.
And I sent a photo of it to a friend of mine who lives in L.A., and she sent me back a photo of a gas station that is down the street from her, and it was $5.99 a gallon. It's not a joke. Not a joke. Yeah. Wow.
So, Brian, you talk a lot of sports with Sandy, right?
Yeah, we get into that a little bit.
Because, you got Judd on this morning. And I want to point out, Judd, by the way, that I didn't personally attack Patricia Heaton, even though the Twins just lost their last 2 games to Cleveland, where she's from.
Yes. In fact, her father was, I believe, a sports writer at the Plain Dealer. Is that right?
I believe that's true, yep.
She is fantastic. I absolutely
adore her.
love her.
Yeah.
I'm right there with you. Too bad she's not pretty, too.
Yeah, hideous to look at.
Just a beautiful woman.
We'll take her. No,
but
she's
I just love her.
so cool.
So I don't like the fact that we split 4 games with one of the worst teams in baseball.
Sure.
Not real happy about that. Okay, now Judd and I have been talking about this quite a bit. What in the hell are they going to do about this team? Just as soon as they just kind of, they're coming on, then they lose to it. They scored 4 runs in the last 3 games with Cleveland. They won one of them 1-0, but then lost the last 2. How the hell does a team only score 4 runs in 3 games?
The thing about the Twins is it's always a surprise when they're good or they're bad. Anytime they're good, people are like, oh my gosh, I can't believe they're good.
Yeah,
no one ever thinks they're going to be one thing and they're that thing. And it's kind of remarkable, actually.
On Wednesday and Thursday, they scored a combined 15 runs, though. So they beat Houston in Houston on Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
They then scored 7 runs in Game 1 of a 4-game series against Cleveland. So 15 runs in 2 days. And then, Tom, as you said, in the final 3 games of a series against a team that also cannot hit,
right,
and in which the Twins' starting pitching was damn good, they were outscored 6-4 in 3 games.
I know.
And the only reason why I didn't text you is I figured that you are at your breaking point, and I don't want to push you too much. It's fun to text you when the Twins aren't playing well or playing well, but I thought, you know what? This is too much. Sonny Gray was fantastic Saturday. He lost.
Yes,
and then
right.
Joe Ryan was marvelous on Sunday, and he lost. And they are completely wasting. This is my biggest complaint here. They are wasting all of this starting pitching, which we have longed for how long? Good starting pitching.
No question.
That's what gets me.
There's no question about it. Do you think that, I know they just re-signed Rocco, but some of this blame has to go on management. It has to. That's all you're getting out of your team? What the hell is that?
Well, here's a question for you, for instance. And I mean, this is not exactly the equivalent of baseball calculus. Why is Max Kepler still here?
Couldn't agree more.
He hit cleanoff on Sunday. I think he's hitting 192.
Yep.
He's a lost cause.
He had one good year in the major leagues. One.
Yes.
Yeah, he should not be on this team anymore. You're absolutely right about that. And Lopez should not be pitching for the Twins anymore either. He's horrendous. I'm talking about the reliever.
Yeah.
Middle relief guy.
You're talking about Jorge, not Pablo.
Yes.
Yeah, so here's the problem with that, though. Have you seen that the guy that one of the relievers that the Twins sent to Baltimore, who I think with the Twins in limited duty last year had like a 9 ERA, is now one of the best relievers in baseball? And Lopez can't throw a strike.
Yep, he can't throw a strike.
Yeah, he's Steve Blass. He's Steve Blass. He's lost the strike zone.
We got to do something about these people because Kepler's got to go. That Lopez has got to go. They suck.
Yeah. Well, but the problem is they don't suck. Their starting pitching is too good to allow this to happen. That's if you suck, as I've always said, embrace the suck. If you're truly bad, just embrace it and go down with the ship, and it's over.
That's actually the new Las Vegas slogan, but
exactly. Enjoy the suck. It's so frustrating. We do have to take a break here. Now, you got till 40 today, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I wanted to make sure.
Sir.
Bryan Miller also in studio, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be right back in a couple of minutes right after this.
This is the Tom Barnard Morning Show. Listen live at TomBarnardShow.com or on the Tom Barnard Show app.
When you need someone to listen, a lawyer you know and trust.
If you've never been in an auto accident, it's hard to know what to expect from the insurance adjuster. Here are some tips. 1, if they taught you about whether or not you should hire a lawyer, it's a good sign that you probably should. 2, it's illegal for them to give you any legal advice. They aren't lawyers, and they aren't licensed to practice law. 3, if they tell you that everyone involved in the accident is at fault, they're wrong. This comes from the belief that you're at fault for just being on the road. That's nonsense and not supported by any law. Finally, remember that friendly adjusters are often just gaining information. They want you to do most of the talking so they can file their report. I'm Mike Bryant from Bradshaw & Bryant. I hope you're never injured in a collision. But if you are, don't sign anything until you've talked to us.
Find Bradshaw & Bryant, personal injury attorneys at MinnesotaPersonalInjury.com.
Seeking justice for the injured. Bradshaw & Bryant.
The new Tom Barnard Morning Show is proud to have partners like North American Banking Company, Bradshaw & Bryant, MyPillow, and attorney and advertiser Dave Bialke.
I've been advertising on Tom Barnard shows for years. I like Tom, not just because he's a good guy, but because the ads I run on his show bring me new clients that are hurt at work and need legal help. Tommy B works for me.
Grow results for your business by partnering with the Tom Barnard Morning Show. Visit TomBarnardShow.com, keyword partner.
We are back, ladies and gentlemen. I didn't think I was going to make it back on time. I did. I got lucky. So we met Mark, who is our new next-door neighbor. They're moving in
Mark,
today.
The civil engineer.
Civil engineer Mark. We met him. He's a huge fan of the show. And I went to go run down to the bathroom, and as I'm walking, a young man comes in, and he's wearing a Twins cap. And as he walks by, he goes, Kepler and Lopez both have to go. I'm like, what?
He matched your aggression.
Oh, he definitely was very aggressive about Kepler and Lopez got to go, and that's all there is to it. Smart young guy. He looked to be probably about, I don't know, maybe 25, 30, something like that.
Something like me, you know?
Looks
like
25,
25.
30,
That's exactly
25.
right.
I've been doing comedy.
The teen mom over here, you the 25-year-old.
Been doing comedy for 15 years. I'm a ripe old 25.
Yeah, I don't know the rest of the entire metro, but I know in this building we have 100 shares, so that's good.
That's good.
That's a
I
good
thank
thing
God,
in your own building.
right?
But I just like, you should have seen how pissed off he was about that. You tell them that they got to get rid of him. I was like, okay.
He's not wrong. That's the thing about it. I agree with him completely. As you said, one good season out of 8 in the big leagues.
Yeah,
that constitutes time to be jettisoned in some way, shape, or form. I don't care how you do it.
And the young man had to throw in that at the end, and I was supposed to tell you that ball was juiced that year, and everybody knows it.
Oh yeah, he's right. Yeah, no, that's exactly right.
It's true.
2019, they were playing with a baseball that was designed to orbit the Earth.
It was. It's true. But that's so great running into listeners when you go out in the hall because they get very emotional about this whole thing, which I really like.
I'm going to hang out in the bathroom later, see who's got some interesting chat for me,
I don't know until I'd hang out in the bathroom. That was the hallway, but,
Just around the bathroom.
I'll be like a
around
volunteer
the bathroom
attendant. I'll get some mints, you
Yeah,
know,
there you
and
go.
I'll hit some people with some soap on the hands,
That sounds dicey.
Dicey. But, yeah, so everybody, they love the show. They both mentioned that, and we have a 1,000 share here at 1660. That's all I know.
Thank God.
It is a good thing. So what else is happening? Anything good?
On the sports front?
Yeah,
I mean, the NBA finals were entertaining on Sunday. But again, it's a former Wolf and Jimmy Butler playing for the Heat against the team that knocked the Wolves out in the first round. And so it's a reminder. All of these things, as I've told you, my problem with this pisses me off is all of them are a reminder of the ineptitude of our teams. That's the reminder. It's guys who used to play here, or it's teams that beat the Wolves or the Wild. That's my problem. It's like, I think that there is Tom. I think there's a large group of people who are now 30-ish or so, who don't have any real recollection of what a playoff run feels like.
Right.
Now we saw it with Twins, but how much fun, especially when it's series is. So football is different because you win games and then advance. But, when you win a series, when you beat the Tigers 87, right? And you come back to the Dome, and the Dome that night is filled with people welcoming the team back.
Yep.
I think it's almost impossible for a lot of young adults who might not be as young now to even identify with that because we don't get that. That's all I want.
It's been 32 years now, man.
I know.
That's a long
But I mean, 91,
stretch.
you go back to 91.
Yep.
And you go back to that, one of the best World Series of all times. And I just want a playoff run. I just want that because it brings a town together, too. That's the thing. Nothing, in my opinion, nothing galvanizes a state or city like sports can.
Oh, there's no question about it. God, what's the name of that bar that used to be out there it was heading up toward Dayton, I guess, that way. What, that sports bar that's right there on the corner, right across the street from Jesse Ventura's old house?
King of Diamonds.
No, that's the strip club that you hang out in.
What? Come on now.
Let's go to the kitty bar. Unbelievable.
But at least he's not as casual about it. Doesn't just say KOD.
Yeah, that's true. KOD. Yes, exactly.
Very proper nounish when it comes to my strip clubs. Thank you.
They've got his picture on the ATM. It's the Rudy ATM.
Overrated. One of the most overrated things, in my opinion. Strip club.
Oh, I thought you were going to say the KOD.
I thought you were going to say boobs. I was going to dude, totally overrated. Now we're going to get into an argument.
I feel that. Judd, I feel that. I agree with you.
I just don't understand. I don't know. You want to go to strip clubs? Good for you. It just did nothing for me. So I'm going to sit here and watch, and I'm going to pay you, and then I go home.
I don't know. I used to go to strip clubs when I was like 21, 22 years old. And that was fun. And then I had a baby and started a family, and I got out of it. And then my family finally figured out I was full of shit, and then they left. And then I'm back in my 40s again being alone. And I'm like, if I'm going to go out with a woman and drop $80 and still go home by myself, I might as well go down to the Boom Boom Room.
Boom Boom.
And have some fun and just get some drinks and hang out with ladies and then take an Uber home. Because if I'm going to blow $80, I might as well just do it and have some fun and why go through the whole dating process when you can just hang out at the strip club and then call it a night?
And how has that served you?
Wonderfully.
Yeah, wonderfully.
I don't know if you've noticed, but I'm glowing every day I come in.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's because the glitter's still on your
Yeah,
face.
right. Yeah, the light hits that glitter.
What's the name of the one that's on Washington Avenue, right down by J.D. Hoyt's? What's the name of that place?
Oh, Dreamgirls.
Is it called Dreamgirls?
Well, there's a couple down there.
Yeah.
Well, this is the one that's right next, just north.
Deja Vu.
Deja Vu. Yeah, Deja Vu's the one right next to
Deja Vu
Hoyt's.
is the one right next
and
to
I know
Hoyt's.
that because I go to J.D. Hoyt's so often.
Yeah.
I love J.D. Hoyt's.
Actually, really, gumbo and hash
love
browns.
J.D.
That's the sneaky thing. They got a lot of great stuff. You get a bowl of gumbo and a side of Cajun hash browns. It's like $20. It's the best lunch you'll ever have.
Buddy Bowl.
So good.
Can't go wrong.
We
Buddy
just-
Bowl's fantastic.
We just took JB there for his birthday, as a matter of fact. He
Oh.
wanted to go to J.D. Hoyt's.
That's so fun.
Loved it. Pat wasn't there, though, that pain in the ass.
So,
I love
Pat
it.
needs a day off.
Pat's a great guy.
Because they don't have strippers there. That's why Pat wasn't there.
Somebody told me they took down the sign, though, that used to say hundreds of beautiful girls and 3 ugly ones.
Still there.
Oh, it's still there?
I just walked
Oh,
past
I
it.
thought it was taken down.
I thought it was too.
No,
I think it's right under the name, right?
Yeah.
Right on the
It
side
was,
on,
yeah.
on Washington.
Yeah, we were walking to the Twins game last week when they were playing the Giants, and while we were walking, I looked, and I was like, son of a bitch, it's still there.
It
Yeah.
still says
Absolutely.
3 ugly ones.
Absolutely.
I thought that was long
Yep.
gone, man.
There's a strip club in Las Vegas. I'm spacing on the name. It's not on the strip, but it's kind of off the beaten path. But it is. They have the chairs bolted to the floor where they face away from the stage, and that is how they present their women. Like they're so bad you're
God.
not going to want to look at them. But anyways, yeah, it is. I don't know. I like the fact that there's a strip club that can have that sort of humor about itself.
Yeah, anybody have a sense of humor about anything, for Christ's sake. That'd be nice. That'd be wonderful.
If I was a stripper there, I'd constantly be counting the room. I'd be like, am I one of the 3?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. You're like,
Today, am I one of the 3?
Because it's all relative depending on who's
Totally.
in the room, if you think about it.
Totally.
Right?
Like in this room, I'm not going to be one of the 3. Sorry, guys.
No, you're doing it right in this room.
Would they let you, if you bought a strip bar, would they let you, because if I owned a strip bar, I don't want to call it Tits McGee's. But can you do that?
I don't know.
I've said tit on air and radio, and I got in big trouble. So I don't
Saying
think.
tit?
Yeah, on normal radio.
Why?
It used to be one of the 7 dirty words, like in the Carlin routine.
Yeah. Oh, that's right.
That's one of
Yeah,
them,
you're
right?
right.
Even as a little kid, I was always like, really? After all those other 6, that's the 7th one?
Yeah.
It's just a shortened version of teat anyway,
Yeah.
right? It's not a big
Isn't
deal.
there a titty mouse? Isn't that like a titty
Titmouse, yeah.
Tit mouse. Yeah,
Tom
tit
Tit is a
mouse.
bird.
Yeah.
Yep.
But I was shocked. It was on my talk, middle of the day.
It's actually-
I said tit, which I don't know why I did.
It's actually legal to go topless in a park. So you can
Yeah.
actually show your tits, but you couldn't say, I'm showing my tits.
Right, exactly.
That seems a little
Yeah.
backwards.
Makes no sense.
How did that get on the list?
Why aren't there any male strip clubs?
It's terrible.
Was it terrible?
No, I'm saying that what women are given compared to men is a lot different. We get like stage performance, and there's 1,000 of us women to 7 men that do these elaborate dances in their
Yeah.
outfits because that's what they think women want.
Oh,
is
okay.
A choreographed. They think that we want a gay best friend with a good body.
I was going to say, I think a lot of these guys aren't as available to the clientele as you
No.
might expect.
Yeah,
Like-
maybe
You know?
not. Maybe not.
No, it's not great. It's a production value, and it's like we're never gonna have that person rub against us. It's-
Oh yeah, but the ladies get all grabby and they get all snatchy
Because
and
we have
grabby.
mob
Yeah,
mentality.
oh, absolutely
Oh, I
they
didn't
do.
know.
Dude,
I
if
didn't
you're a guy at a strip bar, reach your hand out for 2 seconds and see if you come back with all your fingers. There's like 9 bouncers that are ready to break your arm off.
yeah.
You know, those ladies are like the golden tickets hidden in there
But
somewhere.
Brian, in our defense, it's mob mentality. There are thousands of us. All of a sudden, you're like, should we steal a flat screen as well? Like, you just kind of are around a bunch of high energy women. I'm so excited to go to the strip club. It's going to be awesome. I love it. Why do you
Not
laugh?
excited. He's very excited.
What?
That's all I know,
Today?
Brittany.
Had you said AI? I've never said that.
Those were your exact words. I don't know what to tell you.
Could we hear that again? Because she doesn't believe it's her.
Absolutely.
I'm so excited to go to the strip club. It's going to be awesome. I love it.
That is you.
It's 1,000% me.
It's you. It sounds like a Disney version of you, though.
Yeah,
You got
right,
a little built in your
I
voice.
definitely was in character doing like, I'm so excited to go to the strip club. Like I was being silly, but I don't have no recollection of saying the 2 things that you said
Yeah.
today.
Sounds like the weirdest deleted scene from Frozen ever.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Well, earlier, Brian, she said this and had no idea she said it.
You know I hate fat people. What?
Real nice person you are.
At some point, might want a
sweetheart.
legacy, and that is not going to help Rudy. That is hilarious. No recollection.
You got the receipts, Brittany.
I
You got
can't.
the receipts. You're in trouble.
Rudy, we were friends at least an hour ago.
Well, you hate fat people, and I can't hang out with people who hate fat
Way
people.
to go.
What does that even mean?
Way to go, my friend. No, this is for about, I was going to say 50% of the people but in this room.
Mm-hmm.
So when you throw Judd in, it's only 40%, so that's good. But Rudy, Brian, how is it doing comedy on stage now? Is it a lot touchier than it used to be? Do people laugh anymore? Because it just seems to me that nobody's laughing anymore. Has it gotten better?
Oh, I think so. I think
Good.
I think the crowds are great. The one thing I've noticed, people are really not interested in hearing about politics.
Yeah, I could see
and
that.
it's not even it's on both sides necessarily. People just kind of don't want to hear about politics. That's a pretty tough sell. In fact, I've had in some contracts recently. For like private and corporate shows, they'll say, "Be as dirty as you want, just stay away from the politics."
Yeah. Well, so that's the whole deal. It's a political argument.
Yeah, and I think people are just so bombarded with it all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of feel the same way. I don't I'll talk about I guess social issues you'd say, but I don't frame things in terms of Republicans and Democrats. I think that's a boring way to phrase things anyway. It's what are we, CNN? You know what I mean? I don't, especially from comedy. That's how we're going to do comedy. We're going to do the R's versus the D's. That's just not interesting.
Yeah, you're totally right. Because the day that Trump got arrested, I had gone on stage that night and said something like, man, they asked Trump, hey, you can take a deal or you can, take this one felony. And he decided to not take the deal and he got charged with 32 felonies. Mm-hmm. Man, if only he had read a book called The Art of the Deal.
See, there you go.
Silence.
They didn't even know what it was?
Yeah, they were like, no, please don't go down this road. I was like, okay, I guess we're just going to talk about kids. Sorry about that. Never mind. It was awful.
Yeah, I mean, in my viewpoint, and people get pissed off at me, I don't see any difference between the two political parties, the two people who have been president. They're the same people.
Yeah.
I don't give a damn what you're Republican, Democrat. They're all full of shit, every one of them.
I think in general that's a really faulty view that benefits both sides, the R and the D, because most issues don't are complex and they actually kind of snake between the left and the right. But if you silo everything, then you never have to consider the parts of the things that you agree with that are on the other side. So it's a good way to keep you from actually thinking about the issues.
Well, why don't you want to agree? Like I said, I've got friends that are very, very left-leaning Democrats, very, very right-leaning Republicans. I don't agree with a lot of things they think, but I like them as people.
Yeah.
But what the hell do I get? Somebody chirping to me about their politics is not going to change the United States.
No.
I'm not worried about it.
Has anyone ever changed anyone's mind? I'm not even sure that's even happened.
I just don't understand. Calm down and relax. Everything will be fine. But it's good to hear that people don't want to hear about politics.
Yeah. No, that's the thing I've noticed is that they, again, like I said, it's not that they want to be told what they want to hear necessarily. They want raw stuff. They're just like, no, man, can you talk about strip clubs or anything?
Yeah.
Anything else?
Well, my son Andy, who's 36 years old, he does not want to hear anything about politics at all. If I even bring up, I brought up this woman and said something that was pretty much out of line, and it wasn't that she was a Democrat or a Republican. She just shouldn't have said what she said, right? Andy would have a fit if I read that story. He'd go, just don't even bring it up. I don't even want to hear it. He doesn't want to hear anything about it. He really doesn't. So
he's right, though. But
yeah.
It's so tiresome now, too.
It is.
The thing about politics, and for me personally, this goes back before the whole 2016 thing, but the thing about politics is when it comes to politics and religion, you are not going to change anyone's mind or move them off their point, which is why I personally love sports, because you can debate sports and be pretty passionate, but at the end of the day, it's sports.
Yeah.
And you will get a person to say, oh, or you will say, oh, that's a good point. When's the last time that you talk politics with someone who came from the opposite end of the spectrum from you, and the conversation finished with, oh, that's a great point. Yeah, didn't think of it that way.
Yeah, that doesn't happen.
It's F you, and that's no fun. That's not a fun debate. That just turns cantankerous.
Right. That's why we have this
quack, quack
on the show, so that everybody shuts up when we start talking about politics.
Yeah,
and it always works.
Always works.
Quack, quack.
Quack, quack, Brittany.
We don't ever get mad about it at all.
I don't get mad about anything. I don't give a rat's ass about
it. Yeah.
I'm not affiliated with either party. I know, like I said, I have people that are way left, way right, middling. I got friends of every ilk, I guess is the best way to put it. I just don't understand why people get so whipped up about it all. I really don't. None of it makes any difference. I mean, look at the things that are going on now. It's like, good God, calm down.
Yeah, it's not like you can do much about it. It's like, all right, I'll vote.
Right.
I'll vote every couple of years when it comes around. So, although I'll tell you, I was this is incredible. I was asked to run for Minneapolis City Council.
You were?
Yeah.
Who asked you?
They asked me to run in Ward. Oh, I don't even know what ward I'm in. They asked me to run against Andrea Jenkins.
Yeah, okay.
And it's so funny. I thought about it for, I would say, 1.5 seconds before I said, absolutely not. Like, first off, the people who asked me, I was like, I don't think you know me as well as you think you do. Like, when my album comes out, that's going to disqualify me thoroughly from politics. Right. But also, I said, like, this sounds like the campaign sounds like the worst thing in the world. And then it turned out to be wild. There's like accusations of fraud in the DFL within the primaries, and then there was the Warasami. It's crazy. So I was so glad I didn't do it. And then I thought, God forbid you won. Now you have to do it. And you have to, every time somebody walks up to you on the street and has some dumb question, you have to sit there and actually care about their dumb question.
That would be hell.
Can you imagine at the grocery store every time, every pothole and street sign in one way? Oh my, I would go nuts. I hate talking to strangers.
To
literally problem for your political aspirations then.
Yeah, it's going to be a problem.
That is rough.
The most awkward video is the one where Mayor Fry just gets lit up by some lady on the street and then has to walk through all those people just sitting Indian style. He has to walk through all of them just with his head down. It's like, why would you do that to yourself? Why would you go out there and just get decimated like that? It's awful.
I have the second most awkward video of Mayor Fry because he made the mistake of sitting in the second row at Acme when I was headlining. And he couldn't move, and I unloaded on him, and it was so funny to watch him plaster on his, like, I just lost the Oscars smile and nod, because oh, I'm not minding this. This isn't the worst thing that's ever happened to me. And I was pointing him out and going in on him, and then and he was stuck. He couldn't leave, so I got to do that for about 10 minutes.
Is there actual video on that, Brian? Is that
I have the video from the security cameras. I might have asked them to turn one of the cameras on him so I could, because I knew I might have actually asked somebody to seat him in a specific spot and then ask them to maybe put a camera on him and then maybe give me that video after the show.
Allegedly.
Is it on?
Allegedly.
Is it on your Instagram or Facebook or anything?
It's on my own private server.
Ah, son of a gun!
Damn it! You're not getting to it, man.
Damn it!
All of this whole deal. Calm down. Relax, for Christ's sake.
Here's the thing. I definitely dislike Jacob Fry, but not because of politics, because he's a little weasel.
That's what I've heard.
Oh, he's such a little weasel.
He's a little fella, isn't he?
Yeah. Little guy, big problems.
It's not short shame, okay? Come on,
it's not short shaming.
All of a sudden, Rudy's going to
very thin, though.
The only time I do that, voting for Fry now.
The only time I ever do that is when it's very obvious that somebody doesn't like that.
Sure.
It's like, guys who wear what we used to call Dago tees when I was a kid. But
they used to sell them like that.
They did. They sold us Dago tees, which wasn't exactly complimentary to the Italians. But, you're right.
It was on the packaging.
It was on the packaging. It's true. But I like it when they wear the what are those called? They're called...
Well, then they changed them to wife beaters.
Wife beaters.
Which actually, it was like, whoa, I don't know if we're heading in the right direction.
I don't think you guys are getting the problem here.
I don't think we've ever invented a third term.
Well, then they call them beaters. Kids call them beaters and not even knowing that they have no idea that we just dropped wife.
Beaters?
They just call them beaters.
Yeah, you're right. That's true.
Yeah.
Whoops.
Yeah, I had no idea what a wife beater was when we were calling them wife beaters. I just thought that was the name of the shirt. It was just a wife beater. I didn't realize it. I didn't realize it came
little
from
10-year-old boys walking around asking for their wife beaters.
Yeah.
And my brothers did the same thing, and it was like all of a sudden there was like a realization, like
that was a very casual term.
Yeah.
What are they actually
guys.
called?
Thank you.
You got to go?
Bye, Judd.
I got to go. It's 40.
Take care, buddy.
You're a horrible human being for leaving.
Twins play tonight. We'll talk about it tomorrow. Hopefully they score more than 2 runs.
Yes, I agree. Thanks, Judd.
Right, see ya.
Have a good day. Judd Zulgad, ladies and gentlemen. Skor North, a great show that's on the... what is the actual name of the podcast network? Is it the Hubbard Podcast Network? What is it?
You're saying Skor North?
They're on Skor North, yeah.
Yeah.
But what are we on? Is it the Hubbard Podcast Network? What is it?
Honestly, my tag says Skor North. Like, I feel like that's the actual umbrella name.
No, I'm talking about this.
I know.
All shows.
I know. But like, I think that's what they have it under right now.
That's the name of it.
Yeah.
But I'm saying where they bring that on a podcast network. And is there a name for the podcast network? That's what I'm saying. I don't know, because I have no idea if there is or not. Why do you have an ID? What the hell do you need an ID? Oh, Jesus. Now she thinks she's important. What's that for?
I've had this for a while, but my other one said My Talk, and now it says they took it back, and then they go, do you want to take a new photo? I go, hell no. I was like 22.
I was gonna say I was like, that might look like perhaps an old photo. I'm not gonna.
Look at that.
I say this as a guy whose headshot's 14 years old.
Yeah, I am death gripping to this. Remember, Rudy? They were like, we were at orientation, and they're like, okay, new photos. I go, oh no, copy paste that.
There'll be none of that.
Yeah, there'll be none of that.
Although, Brian, you don't look a day older than the last time I saw you. It was about 10 years ago, for Christ's sake.
I appreciate that.
You look no older.
You're a perma puppy.
Yeah, I'll take it. You know what it is?
Puppy.
No kids. That's the trick. Just get childless.
They're not wearing you out.
I got no kids. I just hang out. I get my beauty sleep.
You do get a lot of sleep.
I do get a lot of sleep.
And one banana a day. He eats one banana a day.
On the way here.
And do you still have that Little Six T-shirt that you wore in your headshot? Do you still have that T-shirt?
I think it finally gave up the ghost. It finally came apart.
Gotcha.
Little Six. I love Little Six.
Yeah.
Now we're talking. You still live in South Minneapolis?
I do, yeah.
Because every time I drive, because my buddy Tommy Gorman used to live on Pillsbury.
That's where I live.
I know you do.
Yeah.
And every time I drive by his house, I go, oh, Brian's around here somewhere.
I'm right around. I might be hanging out on the lawn, you know.
Because the old firehouse is now a coffee shop, or a bagel shop, right?
Yes. That's actually where I went to sign the papers on my house.
That's why you told me that. Yeah, Tommy Gorman used to live right there off, 46th?
Yep, that's 46th and
46th and Pillsbury's where he lived.
Pillsbury's right over there, yeah.
Yeah, about 3 Wentworth, all that.
A couple of blocks from me. That's right where I'm hanging out.
I can't tell you how much I used to drink in that neighborhood. Because Tom Gorman might be an Irish Catholic name, is all I'm saying.
You couldn't sell hard liquor in that neighborhood until recently.
I know.
Even the Driftwood Char Bar was a beer and wine bar only. They just now got the
unbelievable.
They got the full license for some of the restaurants.
I love that neighborhood.
It's a fun place.
It's a great neighborhood. It really is.
There's a Kaluna. There's a restaurant over there.
Yeah, Kaluna.
Highly recommended if you haven't been.
They own. Like 3-4 restaurants.
Yeah, I was just there this weekend. Oh my goodness,
she's
it's
terrific.
Yeah,
she is terrific, no doubt about it. Good choice, pal. Yeah, but I think about you every time I drive down that road. It's like, oh, Brian lives around here somewhere. Right by Tommy Gorman. Did you ever meet Tom Gorman?
Mm-mm.
Tommy Gorman was a bright red-headed Irish boy from Cleveland, Ohio. My God, when he'd get angry, it was hilarious. He'd have a few drinks and let me tell that son of a bitch. I'm like, Tom, settle down. You're not a tough guy. Relax.
Redheads have this thing where the minute they have an emotion, you can see it on their face.
Oh, yeah.
Their discoloration. They're like the mood rings of people.
Yeah.
They'll immediately showcase what they're feeling.
You know what I used to do to him, though? What was the name of that one? There's one bar further east from you. It's on 46. God, I was trying to think. It doesn't matter. So we're sitting there and we're having a little sandwich or whatever. And there was a guy going from table to table playing the guitar and singing. And, of course, Tom, to try to be a nice guy, is looking up at him with a big smile on his face, pretending he's enjoying the music and all the rest of it. And the guy closed his eyes and started playing. Perfect time for me to go, God, you suck. And then I was looking down at my plate, and Gorman's like, his face got fried because the guy thought he said it. Right.
Yes.
Oh, God, did he get embarrassed? It was, you suck. He opens his eyes and there's Gorman. Oh, did I have fun with that, man. So what else is happening in the world? So how much are you working now? Are you working every weekend?
No, I actually don't schedule quite as much as I used to, just because I'm just after 15 years on the road. I try to do 1 to 2 travel weekends a month, and then
that's good.
And then book everything else locally, kind of stay in town. Like most of my gigs. Well, I'm hopefully going to Louisville soon. But
where are you at in Louisville?
The Comedy Caravan. I'm just finalizing the contract on that one.
Nice.
But I'm looking forward to doing Comedy Corner Underground the 16th and 17th of this month, and then headline in Acme Big headline weekend at Acme, August 29th and 30th, and September 1st and 2nd.
Oh, that's good.
You can't get better than working in town. I'd just rather work in town. I mean, partly because Minnesota, I mean, it sounds like I'm buttering up people, but really, some of the best audiences around. I mean, comics from all over the country say it. Yep. It's that balance of like, they're laid back enough to go ahead and laugh, but they're smart enough and they're interested enough to listen to the words. It's crazy when you go some places and you're like, I don't think you guys are listening to the words.
Oh, I know.
And you have your big CD release party that day too, right?
Yes, that's the 16th.
At the Comedy Corner Underground, the 16th and the 17th. And what is the name of your new CD?
The CD is called All the New Ugly People.
All the New Ugly People. So it's very complimentary.
It's very complimentary. It's a bit of an angry album. I was supposed to record it in 2020 in spring, and then some things happened.
Gee, I wonder what that was all about.
So I wound up scrapping pretty much everything and doing a whole different album.
Really?
Yeah.
So did you take anything from that, or did it just feel like nothing was relevant anymore?
There's a couple of things that were kind of evergreen. Partly, you get tired of telling stuff after a couple of few years.
Yeah.
And then what was weird with the pandemic was you were already a little tired of your old jokes, and then you didn't tell any jokes for like a year and a half.
Sure.
And when you came back, it felt really weird to go back to some of that stuff. It made it feel like it was like 20 years old.
When selling CDs, and Rudy, this is a question for you too. When you guys sell CDs, are you finding that like you actually sell the hard copy, or is it the digital version?
I mean, the digital version's what's on sale now, and that's what obviously I think more people probably listen to it on the digital. But when you go to shows, I always have a few hard copies with me because some people like to buy them. I think because they want you to sign them or whatever.
Oh, that's fun. Yeah.
Yeah. So people do still buy them actually.
That's cool.
Yeah.
We have to take a break. Be right back in a couple of minutes. Got one final segment with Brian in studio. Now we're talking right back.
This is the Tom Barnard Morning Show.
It's Tom Barnard for the Power Lodge and the world's largest Bennington pontoon dealer, Miller Marine in St. Cloud. Temps are up, prices are down. We just hit 88 degrees, so Miller Marine and Power Lodge are offering hot 88 summer deals for the next 2 weeks only. Get a Bennington pontoon for $28,888, and as a bonus, the first 8 pontoons come with a trailer for $1,888. Finance it all for just $288 a month. Want something larger? Get a Tri-Tune starting at $43,888 or just $488 a month. With over 300 pontoons in stock, they've got what you need at the world's largest Bennington dealer, Miller Marine and Power Lodge. Payment terms and credit limits are subject to credit approval, so come on. It's time to get serious about your throttle therapy with this 2-week deal until June 17th. Check selection at powerlodge.com and millermarine.com. Hot 88 summer deals with Bennington pontoons are now at the Lodge and Miller Marine. And please tell them Tommy sent you. We are back, ladies and gentlemen. Just saw a news article that popped up. A former part owner of the Minnesota Vikings who defrauded a short-lived professional football league known as the Alliance of American Football in a $700 million cryptocurrency scam was sentenced Monday to over 6 years in prison. Reginald Fowler. You guys remember Reggie Fowler, don't you?
I don't remember Reggie Fowler.
You'd know if you saw him.
Yeah.
I'm almost certain. In any case, Reginald Fowler, 64, of Chandler, Arizona, was sentenced in Manhattan federal court to 6 years and 3 months in prison, ordered to forfeit $740 million. Oof. And pay restitution of $53 million. Alliance American Football met a speedy end in 2019 when it ran out of money. So Reggie Fowler, you'd remember him if you saw him. He's going to prison for 6 years for scamming people out of money.
Was it the McCombs era?
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
That's exactly right.
Yeah, that makes sense.
As a matter of fact, there's a picture of Reginald Fowler sitting right next to Red McCombs. I should get Fitz to play Red McCombs on this show like he used to on the Q. Hey, where's your dick, Denny? I used to say things like that. It was wonderful. So if they'd lose a game, they'd lose a game they're supposed to win, and Fitz would come on and go, this is Red McCombs, and I got a question. Where's your dick, Denny?
Where's your dick, Denny?
Show some manhood, man.
Right?
God, it was phenomenal. Fitz kind of nailed Red McCombs. Wasn't all that accurate. But
well, they nailed Reggie Fowler.
They nailed Reggie Fowler, that's for sure. Yeah,
you know what they say if you get arrested for crypto when you go to jail? When you get the first day in jail, you got to defraud the biggest guy there.
Yeah, there you go.
That's how you make it.
No, he might be the biggest guy there. Reggie Fowler's a big guy.
That's a good point.
All That is unbelievable. Cryptocurrency. Brian and I were just talking about cryptocurrency. I never owned one coin of it.
No.
I never understood the point. Like, wait a minute. And then, of course, their argument was, well, there's nothing backing up the currency of the President of the United States of America. I said, that's a different take, though.
Yeah.
You and I don't own that. Somebody else owns it.
Yeah.
I never understood cryptocurrency. I never got it.
We have like a 250-plus year agreement for the dollar, right? The world partly runs on the dollar. This crypto thing, it's like, yeah, there's a computer server somewhere. That's what I knew was BS. Like, I'm data mining. Like, you're not mining anything.
That threw me so off when it was like, oh, yeah, like we run this box fan, and then we also. I was like, what? Every time I try to learn, I go, no, not for me.
It's like the more you learn, the farther away it gets from reality.
And everyone acting like they know. I'm like, no, you know nothing.
My brother was trying to tell me, he's like, I got 50 grand in Bitcoin. It's out of nowhere overnight. I'm like, you don't know how to copy and paste.
There you go.
Crazy.
Oh, I love that.
So what happened to all that cryptocurrency? Is it just sitting there in a trash pile now?
I don't even understand where it sits. I've never had someone be able to convincingly. My thought is like, all right, I got a college degree.
Yeah.
If someone can't explain it to me in 20 minutes in a way that I can understand, it's fake.
So Bitcoin, is that still around even?
Bitcoin is, but a lot of them just go away.
So why is Bitcoin making it?
I think it's centrally agreed upon, more agreed upon, but the value fluctuates so wildly.
Really?
Oh my gosh, it's insane, the fluctuations, because it's all basically theoretical as far as I can tell.
Yeah, I mean, when it's theoretical like our currency is.
Sure, to some degree, for sure.
There's no question about it, but at least the government is the ones cheating you out of the money, so that's good.
Yeah.
It all works out. And also, by the way, if I send them Bitcoin to pay my taxes, you think they'll like that? They'll go for that one thing. I don't have any.
It's so funny because depending on how well it's doing, you could be like, here is 1/2 bit.
Yeah.
I heard it's worth $75,000 a piece.
Tell me it's not.
Sure it is.
Yeah, like you're at Kowalski's, at the dollar fluctuated like that. You're like, all right, this rotisserie chicken will be $17. Wait, it's $4. Wait, nope, it's $27. You better buy this chicken really fast.
I know, right? Or not at all.
True. No question about it. So now you have an appearance coming up in town.
Yeah, I think so. I think the next one will be the 16th, 17th in June at Comedy Corner Underground.
Okay.
I guess actually that's only a week from this weekend.
I was going to say, it's crazy to think that's already next weekend.
I know.
Next weekend,
yeah, that is creeping right up.
And you're hosting at Acme as well after you're doing stand-up there. You're doing the funniest person contest?
Yeah, so I'm kind of I kind of help promote the contest overall. So the contest is for amateurs. It's open to anybody. As long as you've never been paid to do comedy, you can go to Acme. You can sign up. You can do it on the website. You get to 3 minutes, and you get a chance to win $1,000. And then so my headline week will be the semifinals. August 29th, 30th, September 1st and 2nd. And then on September, this Wednesday after Labor Day, whatever that is, 6th to the 7th, is the big finals. And so I'm hosting the finals, and I'm going to have some great guests. I think Nate Abshire and Greg Coleman are going to be there, and then they'll crown the big winner.
How scary. You get nervous for people going up there?
No, I love to watch them melt down.
You are such a monster.
Because I did the contest, obviously, myself, and I've been working, when you work at Acme, you're around the contest a lot. So I've seen some contestants do great and amazing things, and I've seen some flame out spectacularly.
How many? Can you only do it once then?
As long as you never get paid, you can keep coming back.
Okay. So how many years did you do it?
I only did it the one time because then the money was just rolling in.
Of course.
The flow of the cash was unbelievable.
I couldn't get the valve to shut down. The cash kept coming out, so I had to stop doing the
taxes though, right? Am I right?
Yeah, taxes.
Brian's also doing this really fascinating thing where he's going back and doing podcasts with the former winners of the Acme's Funniest, and some of those stories are great, man. There was a guy in town, he doesn't do comedy anymore, and it just kills me.
Oh, Brooks Robinson.
Brooks Robinson, like, man, he was naturally one of the funniest guys. I think his first 3 times on stage was the prelims, the semifinals, and then he won the contest. And those were his first 3 times on stage. He did comedy for 2 years and then quit.
Yeah, he just kind of lost he never really loved doing comedy. He was just so good at it. People kept hiring him, but he's like, I don't even really like doing this that much. A little bit like Mordahl in that way, where it was just like, just kind of like he's fantastic at it, but that doesn't mean you love it.
Sure.
So still playing third base for the Orioles.
He was named after that, Brooks Robinson.
I bet he was.
Yeah,
absolutely. Brooks Robinson was phenomenal.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
One of the best players of all time, no doubt about it.
And a great
cone.
baseball
Remember the cone?
Yeah, and a great Brooks Robinson. That just sounds like a baseball player, doesn't it?
It does, yeah.
You're right, it does. No question about it. Now we got to get our Twins doing a couple. I know they're in first place by 3.5 games, something like that. But they need to get their crap together. That's all I'm saying. You know what I'm talking about.
It's hard to get too cocky in June,
Well, you got that. I've done it before. That's how I know it's not a good idea.
Yeah,
I've made that mistake before, but what the hell. So any closing? We got 3 minutes left. Any closing comments from anyone?
I feel strong about liking Brian's cats. I love that.
Oh, nice, yeah. Because Britt and I did a podcast together during the ye old lockdown.
Oh, did you really?
We did.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
It had a really cute name.
Great name, Minnesota. Because we talked about Minnesota news and some other stuff. The problem was it was a good name, but when you Googled it, Google kept trying to autocorrect you back to Minnesota.
Oh, I bet.
I didn't even think about it until we got the logo and everything.
That's true.
It was fun. We did very hyper local, and it was a blast during the pandemic. It was actually one of those things where that was one of the highlights of my week. I'd be like, oh, we get to, and all 14 listeners were very bummed.
Don't lie. Did you both wear masks?
This was all Zoom. This was all over Zoom.
Oh, it was all Zoom.
All
okay.
Zoom.
Yeah.
But we, people, weirdly though, whatever 14 listeners we have, people contact me and ask me when it's coming back. So the people who listen were really into it.
We got to bring Minnesota back.
We got to bring it back.
That might be super
Actually,
fun.
I would do it.
I'd do it. Okay. I mean, I'm super busy, but I'm in.
We still have the logo.
Yeah.
You were like, well, I'm gonna have a baby. We might need to put the podcast on hold as the pandemic lifts and the baby comes in. It was a good reason.
It was a good time, but yeah, that was a fun one.
Is that a pig on your microphone?
This?
What is that?
It's an owl.
Fawn made it for me. I'm not unsure.
Oh, it's a tiger.
Yeah.
It looked like a pig from behind.
I'm unsure. I was too scared to
Fawny gave it to
make
you?
any speculations. I said, I love this thing you gave me.
No, that is very cute.
I think it's adorable. I love it.
question about
I
it.
like looking at it when I talk.
Yellow pigs are my favorite.
Yellow pigs, yes.
When
no
yellow
question.
pigs fly, sir.
Whoever came up with that? When pigs fly, what the hell does that even mean?
It's a strange expression.
It's very odd.
Yeah, that's a weird one.
All right, that's going to do it. A hell of a show. Brian, you got to stop in more often, man.
I'm right down the street. I'm coming anytime.
You aren't. You should come in a lot more.
I used to come here
often
for
than
Sansevier Studio, so I'm familiar with the building.
On the 5th floor.
Yeah.
He's the one who got me into this building.
I know.
And then, of course, they shut down the 5th floor.
Yeah.
So thanks a lot.
They shut it down?
Oh, yeah. Apparently, there might have been a kind of a money deal going on.
And ghosts.
And ghosts.
Ghosting.
Like-
Here's $1. Now it's gone. That's the ghosting they did, okay?
That's a good way to end
There's
it.
your ghosting.
Good
All
job.
right, we'll talk to you later.